see my photo, then they can vote for me.
Yeah, according to Heat, I was 22nd most sexy man in the world.
I better take that helmet back.
I would. AC/DC. Brilliant. You shook me all night long on XFM 104.9. Well, this show is a rocking.
It is.
Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington.
Quick query for you. This is from Jay. He's got a problem here. He says, my parents won't let me ditch my studies. He's currently reading modern languages at London University.
Sure.
He wants to follow his dream, but his parents won't let him, of being a dancer. Carl. Worse than that, he says that they're trying to arrange a marriage to a bunch of minging daughters of people they know from good families. He doesn't know what to do, so he's got the arranged marriage coming along, and he's also got, he basically wants to be a dancer. His parents are forcing him into something more practical.
Well, the first thing, right, I don't think
Live your dreams?
The arranged marriage thing is such a bad idea.
Okay.
Because I think too many people go on looks.
Right.
And then you soon get bored of that, and you find out the person who you're knocking about with is actually not your type.
Right. Why don't you arrange marriages for people?
Well, I'm just saying, right, so I'd say, Jay, go along with that. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
I mean, if they're really ugly, then, don't go along with it. But if they're half bad, put up with it. That's all right. The dancing.
Brilliant.
Right.
That's that solved.
Brilliant.
I wanted to be a dancer. After I did the boxing, right, I joined a dancing thing just near Man United's ground, right, called Twiggies. Went along, I wanted to learn some moves.
How old were you?
Well, it was when Michael Jackson was, like, pretty big, so about 83, 84, 85, something like that, around there. Wanted to do it. When I went, it was shut, and it had become like a warehouse for toilet rolls. So in a way, I wonder what would have happened.
Sorry, how is that an anecdote about you going through dancing? You've told me before, you did boxing for a while, you did dancing for a while. You had a true fight in the boxing, you didn't even get in the... That's not an... Imagine if that was a film! This is a boy's dream of becoming a dancer. Oh, it's shut. Next on. I mean, how is that a story?
Yeah, that was Billy Elliot. Do you think it won quite as many awards?
Yeah, brilliant. Footloose. All right?
Yeah.
I'm fed up they banned it. Let's go. Oh, it's shut. Flash dance. First, there was... it's a warehouse. Never mind.
I'm just saying, you'll find something else. I think I got a go-kart after that. I bought a motorised go-kart and kept myself busy with that. So... There's always other
Just
things.
think, Alan Bennett has to sit down and really sweat over his stories.
Yeah.
He just opens his mouth.
You are a living Alan Bennett character.
So that's
solved. Well, Jay, don't worry about that. There's no emotional problems I can foresee if you follow that advice.
So the advice there is do an arranged marriage.
If she's not ugly.
minging, she's not completely minging.
Yeah.
And don't worry about dancing. Get a go-kart. Cheers.
Great.
XFM 104.9, we're not here. This next clip is one of my favourite clips. Look, it needs no introduction. Here it is. What should we do next?
It's too much.
Do we need them out of the way?
Do we need them out of the way?
Yeah, just
Let's explain it again.
if you're new, I'm sort of on a bit of a mission to find out, we've got a lot of animals and insects in the world and stuff.
Yeah.
Do we need them all?
It still amuses me.
So we've found out we've got to keep jellyfish. We've done octopus. Said we've got to keep them. This week, snails.
Do we need them?
Just doing some research, right? I'm sort of working my way through different creatures and insects and stuff that's on the planet.
Yeah.
Right? And finding out if we need them or not. Right?
Yeah.
Do you know much about snails?
Sea snails.
Well, yeah.
Snails in general. Don't know a bit much about snails, land snails. Know a bit about sea snails, like whelks, top shells, that sort of thing.
Would you say they're important?
What sort of sense do you mean by important?
Say if we had to sort of get rid of some animals and insects and that because we're running out of room.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'll tell you what I know about some snails. I don't know if this applies to sea snails as well. I mean, I called you today because a lot of other places are shut.
Yeah.
Right? So, I know they like to eat stamps, apparently. The glue on stamps. They love it, right?
Right.
Apparently a lot of letters and stuff aren't getting to where they're meant to be getting because snails are crawling into letterboxes and eating the stamps. That obviously doesn't apply to the sea ones, but that's a problem they're causing.
All right.
Were you aware of that?
No. I didn't know
No?
that.
Bet you're glad you answered the phone today. Right? They love beer,
Beer. Yeah. Who doesn't?
and also, I don't know if this is right, but I heard that they sleep for 13 years, or can do.
Right. I wouldn't know if they can sleep for 13 years or not. But I mean, sea snails are pretty important. Yeah, they do quite a good job in the sea. They graze on algae, and they
But
provide food for other animals. I mean, you can say that about any fish. You know, any animal. Why do they exist?
would you be upset if, you know, we're getting rid of them?
Oh yeah.
You would be.
They're an animal. You know, I wouldn't.
Forget being like favouritism and all that I get for them, right? There'll be other things knocking around you can sort of spend your time looking after. You'll still have a job, don't be worrying about that, because I'm not going to get rid of all the fish. Jellyfish need looking after, so you're safe.
Yeah.
But do we need them? Come on, there's loads of people saying, come on, we've got to move on through the animals, and you're holding them up saying, well, I want to keep them.
Well, who's saying we need to? That just sounds a bit crazy to me.
Just imagine. Do you know what I mean? And they would come to you because you're working in an aquarium, so they'd be asking for your advice,
Right.
and you're slowing it down.
Well, they asked my advice, and I'm giving it to them. So you know, that's what I think anyway.
Yeah, but snails, you know, I mean, like I say, they drink beer and that, you know. What do they do apart from some food for a whelk?
They were around. Their descendants were around a lot longer than we have been.
Yeah, they've been around a long time, but what have they done?
Well, they survived that long, so they must be doing something pretty good.
Well, apparently they sleep for 13 years, so really, even though they've been around for ages...
I think that sounds a bit... I don't think they sleep for 13 years.
Not all of them, just the tired ones. So, snails, do we need them?
Well, yeah, I just think they've got it's not for us to say, do we need them or not, we can't.
So you think we should keep them?
Yeah, definitely.
Go! I'm proud of you. That
He
was.
was getting really quite annoyed.
I know. What did he think he was doing? What? I don't know what you tell these people. I mean, you don't get their permission to play this out, do you? You just don't tell
the
them.
thing is, right, I sort of told him what it was about, but we won't say who he is or where he works, because it doesn't matter. I just needed to speak to someone who knows.
I know the fact that you were trying to get an answer out of him by suggesting that he would be safe because he could look after jellyfish if he gave the okay to destroy snails.
He was getting livid, you could tell.
Oh, God. Brilliant. So he's been around a long time, but what have they done? Well,
Right, last week when I did Do We Need 'Em, do you know when I called up one of the museums, the Science Museum?
yeah, you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I wanted to tell you before when the song was on, but you're so busy listening to it.
Yeah,
I've got to-
was I so busy listening to a song I was playing?
Yeah, but we're doing a radio show, aren't we?
What's your point?
Well, I just wanted to say, she emailed in to say I got her name wrong, so I'm just apologising for that.
What did you call her?
I think I called her Jessica.
What was her name?
I don't know, I've got it on email somewhere.
This is not an apology!
No, I'm
You
just
got
saying...
it wrong
You've not
again!
even said her real name! How is that an apology?
Well, I remember, I read the email, so, I
Who are you apologising
think
to?
her name's Jackie, I think.
Oh, you've got it wrong again, haven't you?
Well, anyway, and she just said if you want to see dinosaurs and that, go to the museum.
You were complaining about that as well, weren't you? You went to a museum and there was too many dinosaurs. He said you just need 4.
No, well, Steve, have you been to the one in Knightsbridge?
I think
this
so.
one that I called up, right? It's nice. You go in, you get a good collection of stuff. You walk in, there's 3 or 4 dinosaurs. You've had enough, right? I went into New York, right? Went to the museum there, hundreds of them. You can't move for dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're responsible for them being extinct. There's loads of them. So all I'm saying is, if you want to see a dinosaur, go to the one near Knightsbridge. They've got a nice selection, some old vases and stuff. It's worth going. So
That was great, Carl. Play a record. Well done.
bit of Amy Man.
Oh, I'm obsessed with this song, Red Vines. It's brilliant.
XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais show with Steve Merchant. Hello there. And we're not here this week. We're off jetting around the world, so we've pre-recorded these links. The time is currently somewhere between 1 and 3 o'clock.
So a time check there from Steve Merchant.
No problem.
Yeah, and what about this weather? Isn't it warm? Stroke. Edit that, Carl. Cold. Okay, whichever one.
I'm pleased to see that the congestion charge has had some considerable effect. Had no effect.
So just wasn't that great on telly last night? The film. Yeah.
I particularly enjoyed last night's EastEnders, Coronation Street, Brookside.
Okay.
Yeah.
XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Tell us about this monkey, Carl.
You're going to love this one, Steve, right? Yeah, so last week we were talking about how, like, a lad left his family because there was problems at home and that. He went and lived in the wood, he got airy, right?
No,
Leave it there, Rick. We haven't got time to go into
Right,
it.
so...
That's what happened.
And that's what happened, he lived with the monkeys, he went airy.
That's what happened.
Looked into some other stuff about, like, airy kids and all that. Came across this story about a bloke, right, who worked in a zoo,
Oh dear.
right? So
Trouble's brewing.
loving his job and that, but it's quite a lonely sort of job because you don't see many people. You're just dealing with animals all the time, right? So anyway, he gets a bit pally with a monkey because it's the closest thing to a human.
Well, that he is.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't really go that close to apes. It's dangerous.
What do you mean? What type was it? Do you
Just
mean it was
let
a
him tell the
Was it
story.
a chimpanzee?
I reckon it was a chimp. Yeah. Yeah, it was
you
a
don't
chimp.
even know, so
It was
that's
a
an
chimp.
ape.
It was a
Okay.
chimp. Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does it?
So he
It's the
gets
story.
pally with him.
Right, so he gets pally with
Well,
him.
did they go on
and
holiday together?
Well, no, I mean, it starts
On the
off.
pool together.
Starts off just checking each other out and probably sharing lunch and that together.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, this goes on for a while. Is they're getting on well on that, and then after a while, right, the monkey starts sort of imitating him a bit more and sort of walking upright.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Right. So he thinks, oh, that's a bit weird. Anyway, they get on really better and what have you. So he thinks he could live at home with me. This
Yeah.
because we're getting on a storm.
Yeah.
Right. So he takes him home, and before
Is
you
this
know
the
it,
beginning of Beneath the Planet of the Apes? I think it is. I think you've seen this on video.
I'm worried because he's already imitating him and they're moving in together. I'm thinking it's maybe a bit like Single White Female. Single White Zookeeper.
Oh, brilliant.
right, so anyway, so it's moving in, and it's getting used to sort of the normal human life. It's having a cup of tea in the morning.
Yeah. PG tips.
As it finishes the day off with
Oh dear.
Finish the day off with what?
It
a
doesn't
little
have him
brandy.
move a piano at one point,
He
does it?
finishes the day off with a little brandy.
Yeah.
What, he pours himself. Is he wearing a smoking jacket?
I'll tell you what, Carl. You're a maniac,
listen,
mate.
no, this is why it attracted me. It's amazing, right? So he's having his brandy and that, loving his life. Next thing you know, he sort of I don't know if he loses it or he gets shaved, but the top half of his body is hairless. Right? Apart from his head. Right, so he's got a nice
So it's the
head.
opposite of the kid.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what I'm
well,
saying.
that would happen.
Well,
Right?
hang on, but so you don't know if
You
he
don't
was
even
shaved
know.
or if it's
How
hair?
did it say? Then the hairless. What?
I'll bring it in for you, the story, and then you
Right,
can
well,
see if
okay,
I've gone
keep
wrong.
going, keep
So
going.
anyway, so this is going on, and he's having a great life. Then the zookeeper starts getting a bit annoyed because he's having a better life than the zookeeper. The zookeeper's in the zoo.
This is such
So the
rubbish.
zookeeper's still got to do a day's work. The monkey's at home, he's partying,
Well,
he's
it
got
gets
his
to a
other
point when he
chipmates
says
round.
there's no point you coming in to the zoo because the whole reason of you being there was because you're being kept there.
Right.
And he didn't want to bring the memories back, so he said, you stay at home. So
You are you're talking such.
Just let him finish.
God, I don't know if I can sit here and listen to this drivel.
Let me. Oh, I'm fascinated.
it's
It
nearly
sounds
over anyway,
amazing.
right?
It sounds extraordinary, Carl.
So he's walking up right, he's having a tea in the morning, finishing the day off with brandy. Gets a bit out of hand, only tries it on with the zookeeper's wife.
Make him go away, Steve.
How does he do that?
Well, because he's around humans a lot, he becomes a bit of a charmer. And,
But what is it that he could do to seduce her? Pick fleas out of her?
he didn't say.
He's
but
built. He was built.
Yeah, it's well done.
what about that?
What do you mean, what about it, Carl? It's obviously not true.
I don't understand how
I love the fact he becomes a charmer. He's got better taste in brandy.
Exactly.
And he,
What was it that he was doing that seduced her?
I don't know. Maybe because he was at home more than the zookeeper was.
But what would he be doing, Carl? He's not going to be talking with her. They're not going to be playing Trivial Pursuit.
Maybe she liked the silent type. He didn't go into that. He just said that's when the trouble started.
Carl, play a record.
Right.
Is that what Suzanne did when she brought you in?
Talking to the sun.
Oasis and Songbird. It's a nice little ditty
It's all right, yeah.
of a
It's not too
Saturday.
bad. Yes, thank you.
XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. I think we should go straight into it, Carl. I think we should do the competition. There's Carl in the corner.
It seems a little premature.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I
Do you
think
reckon
so.
it's It's
Yeah,
so good. We should tease it out of them.
Well, it's a big thing.
It's just that I've got absolutely nothing to say.
Sure.
I haven't really.
Well, I mean, like often I know you all have spoken to Carl in the week. This week, for some reason, I've been speaking to him.
Oh, right.
I spoke briefly to him about Michael Jackson and the documentary.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I thought that was extraordinary.
Amazing,
And I asked
amazing
Carl's
piece of
opinion.
work. Yeah.
And he didn't mention to me the fact that Michael Jackson likes to climb up in trees.
No.
He didn't mention anything about his bizarre relationship with children. He didn't mention anything about his obsessive billionaire spending sprees.
Right.
He didn't mention anything about the mannequins he has in his thing, or the fact that he drives around his sort of 7 hotel suites in Las Vegas in a little kind of old people's scooter. The only thing of note for Carl was he said to me, "Did you notice how big his hands are?"
I'll tell you what, though, I did.
What? Yeah, how you look at the man's got like a face that he's had reconstructed. Well, I can't
know.
say that's libelous.
Yeah,
But,
no, he hasn't.
He's got an
he's had
awful
he's had two nose
face.
jobs. Yeah,
And you're
but-
looking at his hands.
But I think it's because you look at him and he looks a bit like. There's a bit of androgyny there, but it's sort of like it is quite a petite sort of old lady's face in a way. But then you see these labourers' hands come out. That's always the way with a tranny, isn't it? You know what I mean?
you can't accuse him of being a tranny.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
What are you saying?
I know
He's got enough issues. Now you're accusing him of being a tranny.
I like him. I thought he came out that brilliant. I thought it was really. I really felt sorry for him. No, I think he cleared up a few things as far as I'm concerned. I thought it was a fascinating piece of work, but I did like the shopping spree. That was great.
Extraordinary, 'cause he's
just
got
going
such
around
bad
just
taste.
pointing. I know it was bad taste, wasn't it? It was like one of those bazaar shops. You know what I mean? There's anything sort of a gift shop, but they're trying to make it look like Ning,
But if it, yeah, I mean,
and
if
it's
he,
sprayed gold.
if he'd been living in a trailer park, he'd have been ordering, one of those porcelain dolls dressed like a Harley Davidson
I know,
bike
yeah.
rider, or an Elvis commemorative plate. It was the kind of billionaire equivalent of that.
But the hands were a giveaway. It's the same as those sort of transvestites. Well, it's like you get.
What was it about his hands? I didn't
Well,
even see
when you
it.
get like a cab driver or something, right, and he decides to turn transvestite about 60, and he goes on Kilroy. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
That way, he's got a twin set of pearls, and he goes, "I've never felt so comfortable." But his hands are still big. He's got a little wig, and he's got the lipstick on, and he's with his teenage kids who are going, "Kill me."
Do you think
But
he's
it's
been having surgery on his hands to make them larger?
bigger? Yeah.
Is that why he was wearing that glove through most of the
Exactly,
through the
because
edges,
but I think he wants to be a goalkeeper.
Right.
And they said, well, you can't, Michael. You got a big hands.
It would help him climb the trees.
Yeah, and he can play tennis now without a racket.
Yeah. So what did you make of it, Carl? Were you intrigued?
The Michael Jackson thing, it's it was all right, but that got a load of attention in the press. But the Trisha programme got nothing.
Okay.
Which I know,
was that?
Steve called me up in the week, right? Like 10 o'clock in the morning. I was at work, and he goes,
I should think so at 10 o'clock. I should think.
Preparing this show.
Most people go to work about 8, 9.
"Are you watching Trisha and that?" I said, "No, what is it?" He goes, "Oh, you'll be loving it, right?"
Freaks, was it? Help me, my mum's a freak.
Siamese twins.
Right.
Right, so I couldn't watch it, but he said, "Oh, it might be on again because they repeat stuff on ITV2."
Right.
So I had my dinner late, right? Instead of having it at like 1 o'clock like I normally do,
Yeah.
I had it at like 2:30.
Yeah.
Sat in the office, put the telly on, ITV2. These Siamese twins.
Did it blow your mind?
It was amazing. You know, we talk about a lot of things on the show quite a lot. The Airy kids crop up a lot.
I was waiting. It's been 10 minutes and you haven't mentioned the hairy kid.
Right, and last week we were talking about Siamese twins, weren't we? So it was weird that this programme was on, but it was amazing. I mean, what
I
did
think you can't refer to them as Siamese twins. I think they're known as conjoined twins.
Why?
I think Siamese is maybe considered derogatory or as an old antiquated phrase.
Yeah, I think it's because the first famous ones were actually from Siam.
Right,
and that doesn't exist anymore.
No, it's conjoined, Carl.
Yeah.
Get the phrase right.
But you'd think that if that's happened to you, that wouldn't be that sort of offensive. The names that you must get called.
Right. You think that's the least of your
Siamese
worries?
twins, I'd say, well, that's, yeah.
Now, were you
least
stunned by where they were connected?
Just live with it, we'd say.
Because they were connected, of course, at the forehead.
Oh.
Sort of, which was quite extraordinary.
Well, there was one set of Siamese twins. One had a job and the other one didn't.
That's ludicrous.
Yeah. The other one was unemployed. The other one had a job. She had to go to work. She had to get up at 6 o'clock on her day
I'm
off.
supporting you, literally.
Yeah.
Then they get done off the social for sort of...
Yeah, because the other one was signing on. That wasn't a question that Trisha asked. Annoyingly, because I know that much of the audience was thinking that.
There was a few things that didn't crop up.
What questions would you have asked of them? Because what things did you feel weren't mentioned?
I'd love to just watch Carl watching
Well,
amazing
exactly.
things.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's like early learning thing.
Mouth slightly open.
Yeah,
some
mouth
slight
open at a dribble, looking round to see if anyone else has seen it. You know, I hate that. Like when a cat sees a bird land on the balcony.
Exactly.
It can't believe it's luck.
I'd probably say, how do you buy her, like, a birthday present?
A surprise gift, yeah.
Because everything's ruined,
Sure.
right? I'd probably ask...
Yeah.
Well, did you not think it was interesting that one of them had a boyfriend?
Well, that was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
But what was the other thing that I was thinking when I was watching it? I was thinking if one got into crime and that was sent to prison,
Right.
what would happen? How would you handle that?
It's brilliant. It is brilliant. If a chimp could talk.
And what was the other one? The other thing was, what do they talk about? Because it's not as if you can say, oh, well, guess what I did today? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
Got past in
Well, if you've just tuned in, it's XFM 104.9, you've got that bit right. Ricky Gervais Show with me, Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
Carl is actually in a little booth. We're not in the studio, you see. This is pre-recorded. We recorded this last week because we're away. And it's sort of like the best of the last 3 weeks since last time we were away when we put out the best of. Me and Carl went out, right? With me and Jane, Carl and Johnny and Gigi, wasn't it?
Gigi,
Is it important you went?
No.
Okay.
But we're walking on the street. Carl was there though, and he can back me up on this. We had a curry. We were walking back, and this little funny homeless fella, didn't he? He. Oh, I got to tell it before I go, didn't he?
Yes.
He came up to me, right, and he recognised it. And he came up to me and he went, oh, he said, I've just nicked one of your DVDs from HMV. And he shook my hand. He was so happy with it, and I went, right, excellent. He went, all I do is I just swing the bag over the top. Like that when I'm going out, and he had a bag full of DVDs, didn't he? And he was so pleased to tell me that he'd stolen. Isn't that great?
he said they're going like hotcakes.
He said they're going up, of course they are.
You're nicking them.
I know. We get paid for them, though, don't we?
So not the stolen ones?
Don't we?
No. What do you mean? Did you sign them for him? I know you idiot. What, so, he just nicked 5...
Yeah.
Well, Did you say he was homeless, was he?
Well, I don't know, maybe.
No.
Surely, how would he have seen the show? He'd just walked past Curry's one
Dixon's.
morning.
Yeah, to tell you,
Seen a trailer for it, thought, interesting.
I don't know if he was homeless. I didn't go into his home
Sure.
life.
He shook his hand, though, and...
But he made Carl look smart. Do you know what I mean? So, how does he sell them? Where does he sell them? Does he go up to people and go, do you want an Office DVD? They're not nicked.
yeah.
£4.
Yeah, exactly. Are these stolen? No.
No. They've still got the tags on them.
Well, it's like those people who, those cab drivers that you'll meet at sort of 3 in the morning who've just got a car
Yeah.
and just went out with a car.
Yeah.
And just, I'll pick people up and charge them.
Yeah.
I got in one once. I said to him, the guy just pulled up. I said, he said I was in like East London. I'm going back to North London. I said, yeah, going to Swiss Cottage. He went, sure, hop in. We set off. He went, do you know the way? I said, well, not really, no. I thought you know the way. You're in a cabbie. He went, no, don't really know the way there. I said, have you got an A to Z? He went, no. I thought, well, if you're going to go out just on the, just winging it as a cab driver,
Yeah.
two things: take a map and a torch. He didn't have
Yeah.
either. He said, well, I'll probably get to Camden. I said, well, I'll direct you from there. Drove on for about 5 minutes, making conversation. About 5 minutes later, he went, do you know the way to Camden? I thought you knew the way to Camden. I don't really know the way. I thought you did.
Oh.
It was I mean,
Let me out. £4.
Exactly. And that's, I don't know who's got that sort of time on their hands, that they just think, it's 3 in the morning, I'm at a loose end, I think I'll go out doing a bit of cabbing.
Wow. Yeah.
Because your dad was a cabbie, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, couldn't stand it, but it's good money.
He was he wasn't like a chancer, though.
What was he doing when he put that little Forrest Gump in a weedy bin?
That was part of the cab company thing. They had to do like a charity event once a year, and he did it one year. Never asked him again.
Tell us the story again. I know you've
No,
told
I'd
it.
rather not, because we got a few sort of complaints about it.
Why? Why do you get complaints about it?
Because he put a kid in a bin, and it's not the thing to do. So,
But we could use it as a sort of sobering lesson for people.
Yeah, tell it like a you shouldn't do it.
no, yeah, but that's how I did it last time. But people still didn't like it. All the stuff I tell you, we don't take the mickey out of people on purpose.
No.
It's real life, innit? And that goes on in life.
Yeah,
My dad was saying that in hospital, though. Do you know how he's in hospital?
Yeah.
He did some jokes about old people and that, and he said at the end of the day, if something makes you laugh, it's funny. And if it makes you laugh, you can't help laughing, can you? Do you know what I mean? So, what are you meant to do? And laughing's good for you,
Yeah.
so...
But
even
being
though
laughed at isn't as good for you, is it?
No, but there's probably more people laughing at one person, so if you balance it out, there's only one person who's upset and there's a bunch of people laughing. So
That's
it's
genius. Give me an example of that. Give me an example.
Well, for instance, Carl Pilkington as he talks and the people listening.
yeah. No, give me a little example of like
I can't because again, that's what I'm saying. I can't tell you the story because there might be someone out there who this person might even be listening and think, I forgot about that and you brought it all back to me then. So I prefer to leave it, but I think people know.
Why did he put him in the bin in the first place?
Because he was getting out of hand.
What was he doing though?
You see, I can't explain.
You can. Don't be silly.
I prefer to leave it, honestly.
What was he doing? Was he annoying him?
He was annoying my dad and the other people in the cab.
Right.
And he thought, how can I deal with this before it gets too out of hand?
Yeah.
He pulled over and put the lad in a wheelie bin.
I'm gonna burst.
So we'll leave that.
Blur and Out of Time. They're joking, there's 2 hours to go. On XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. A new leaf, bit of a blow at the Sonys. Not like that. I mean, you know, we were taken aback.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. We've got guests. Jonathan Ross won, and he has guests, so we're going to have guests in. One of which is sort of a tie-in. He's going to explain himself. It's Dr. Fox, Dr. Neil Fox. Popped in for a chat. It's a pre-record. We've got that. Although live in the second hour, we're going to have a chat to the girls from Tattoo, who are upstairs at the moment in Capitol, and they're going to pop down and have a little chat with us. So we're really trying to, you know, make this more of an interactive show. We don't know yet whether we're going to give up or not. It depends how this show goes. Yeah, look forward to that. But we've got some great. We went down to the big library, so we don't have to rely on 4 non-blondes and the you know, the 2 jam tracks that are up here. We went down to the big library, and we've got some great tracks, Steve, haven't we? We've got some classics. Should we play one now?
Well, before that, I just remember that some of the criticism we received, I think, was that we're perhaps not taking into consideration the listeners. A lot of shows, a lot of radio shows, they cater very much to the community, to the area which they're broadcasting. They interact with the
Where's the
listenership.
fun in that?
Oh, I agree.
Well, for me, really.
I'd just like to justify why we don't tend to correspond or interact with the listeners. Here's a typical email from Vicky, age 25. She asks, do you ski? Rick, that's her question.
No,
Do you ski, yes or no?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Right, there you are. Thanks, Vic. Brilliant. Keep those coming in.
See, he's turned them against us, Carl. What do you think, Carl? What do you think of Steve's attitude there?
It's alright.
No insight like that coming later.
There were places where they specialized in
Black Great, Kelly's Heroes, next FM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. Okay? Proper radio. As you know, we're a bit gutted that we won nothing at the Sony Awards. We found out that on the panel was Dr. Fox, probably one of the greatest DJs in the world.
One of the great living broadcasters.
I certainly think that he's up there with Tarrant, John O'Coleman. And so
Chris Moles.
Chris Moles. We asked him to. He's also on the Pop Idol panel, so he can make and break people. So we asked him basically to explain himself. Why did we win nothing? Why were we so bad? This is what he had to say.
The award, guys, was called the Entertainment Award. Right, now in itself, I think that should probably tell you something about what should be on the tape. There should be some entertainment. And it just wasn't very entertaining, actually. I don't mean that sounds quite horrible sitting here in front of you now, but it just wasn't very entertaining.
But fundamentally, what elements did you not find entertaining?
The fact that it didn't seem entertain me at all was part of it. I mean, it's a bit of like how long's a piece of string, isn't it? What is entertaining?
We have talked about string on the show before, though.
Then there were loads of people I'd never heard of in my life, and some of those were perhaps a bit more entertaining than you. The people that got silver, I think they were called Joe and Twiggy. They worked for a station in the Midlands, I think Trent FM. They were actually pretty funny.
Funnier than ours stuff.
Yeah, yeah, they were actually. Yeah, they were funny, and they seem to sort of understand their local. They seem to understand their market a bit more. And then I got onto yours. I think, oh, great, Ricky Gervais. Yeah, he's really funny in that program, isn't he? I must watch that. I'm going to absolutely die laughing here. And oh God, it was painful.
How would you have improved it, just listening?
Bit of humour, be quite good. Bit of humour, essential, I would think, to an entertainment show. A bit of prep, you know, so get in there and actually think about what he's going to do, perhaps.
Well, right, okay.
Well, thank you, Dr. Fox, for your honesty. We've got to the bottom. While you're here, can I just show you this? That lump. Do you still do prescriptions?
Yeah. So I mean, it's
Dr. Fox there.
He was, you know,
He's honest, he was blunt.
he was blunt. You know, that's.
I'd like a second opinion. I'm only joking, he's not actually a doctor. In fact, well, he used to be called Dr. Fox, and now he just calls himself Neil Fox. I think he's been struck off.
No, he's Neil Fox, MD.
Right.
He's just.
I wondered if there was some malpractice that something happened.
Well, I mean, we
Someone was
can't.
under, and he sort of, you know, went a little bit crazy.
Let's leave it there, because Froggy will not take that lightly.
Who?
Froggy.
What do you mean, Froggy?
He's Dr. Frog now. He's changed it. He's not Fox.
Right,
He
right.
hated Fox.
But are we going to heed his criticism? Because it was about, there was no preparation,
Yeah.
we weren't funny, fair enough.
Yeah.
There was just really no content
We
in the
didn't
show.
care about
We
our-
didn't care about the show.
The demographic we were meant to be aiming at.
Just seems like a lot of work, all that.
Well, I think what we can do is we can take it all on board, and immediately forget it and carry on because it's easier. What about that?
Brilliant.
I'll tell you what we could do though. Play some bloody great tunes.
Thanks very much.
Looking to take somebody to a new colony, obviously.
Athlete, you got the style on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington, innit? Alright?
Brilliant.
Well, you know, the funny thing was, the day of the Sonys, the Radar figures came out. That's the body that tells exactly how many listeners you've got, etc. And, XFM went down a little bit, across the board. Except one show, Steve, that went up 34%.
Keep talking.
Well, what show do you think that was?
Well, I'm trying to think. Would it be Zoe Bourne? No. Would it be Christian Connell Breakfast Show?
No. It was this little mother of a show.
Really? Up
Yeah,
34%?
yeah. Everything else went down. We went up 34%.
Yeah.
So maybe Dr. Fox should be listening to those figures.
Indeed.
Yeah. Will we get a pay rise? Will we get a 34% pay rise, Carl?
Ooh, up to 80 quid a month.
No, because for the last, like, 2 years, there's been nothing there, and you've still been getting the same money, haven't you? That's the way it works.
There's been what, then?
You're not paid per listener, are you? It's just... You know what I mean?
It seems like it.
I think they've each given us 5 pence.
Exactly.
I went along to, I came in from the presenters meetings I've never been to one before, a presenters meeting, I didn't know they existed, and I just came in to annoy Carl. It was about 5 to 6, so I was going to get him as he knocked off. We're going to have a
Sorry, and the presenters meeting is what? That's where they dish out which amusing news stories they're going to read out, is it?
Yeah, or no, what order they're going to play, Athlete, Coldplay,
Right.
the Vines. And, I went upstairs, all the people there, and, quite interesting, wasn't it? Carl,
Yeah.
you know why the figures went down a little bit?
Go on.
The war.
Is that what they said?
The war, yeah. At one point, I said to Carl, just how many listeners died in this war then? Because I thought he was saying that they were at the front.
Yeah.
Or XLM listeners went, well, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going to Iraq.
Well, the reason our listenership
Tell
went-
Zoe to tape it for me.
The reason our listenership went up is that just tells you who's listening to us. Cowards, yellow bellies, children, women,
People with fallen arches.
terrorists.
Oh dear. Yeah, it was quite a good meeting. Now I saw some...
So what exactly, is there anything I missed out on? Is it important
No, they
information?
just, it went down a little bit, except our show, which went up 34%.
Up 34%, but no awards
remember
for that.
And then you went out afterwards, didn't you?
Yeah, we went to a bar to have a couple of drinks and that.
Yeah.
And then a few of them went onto Stringfellas.
No, they didn't.
No, some of them did. Zoe
Who?
did. Zoe and a few of the office people and that. I went home.
Stringfellas.
Yeah,
To what? To watch lap dancing? To beat what?
yeah, that's what goes on there, isn't it? I know, it's mad, isn't it?
I've never been to Stringfellows, I don't know what happens there.
But no. Why would they?
I don't know. I mean, I was talking to people about it the day after, and they said, "Oh, you missed out." I said, "Well, did I?" I said, "Well, how does it work?" They said, "Well, you pay."
Never quite understood lap dancing. Never quite understood it. What's it? It's basically someone dancing naked, rubbing their arse in your face.
Yeah.
That's basically the gist of it, is it?
But you can't. The rules is you can't touch.
Do they do a home service?
I just think it's nearly. I've got to be careful what I say here, but it's sort of. I'm not dissing Stringfellows or anything, but is that not sort of like one step down from prostitution?
That's such an antiquated. What,
No,
you
do you
from
know
the
what I mean?
19th century?
No, but I mean, what? It's like it's. Well, I don't quite understand it. Have you?
I don't get it. Because the thing is, I said, how does it work? They said, you pay 20 quid, you get some clean money, sort of like little vouchers that you stick in the knickers or whatever.
Oh God!
Clean money?
Yeah,
Disinfected money, okay.
well, just like vouchers.
Can you put loose change in there? Because I got a lot of that.
But,
I owe you.
Yeah.
yeah,
go on.
20 quid it is.
Right.
And I just don't get it, because I mean, I'm not tight with money or anything, but
No.
you pay your 20 quid, they dance in front of you, but you're not allowed to touch, which to me is like going to a restaurant, ordering a nice big warm dinner, they put it in front of you, and it's like, well, you can't eat it, and you're saying, but well, it's going cold.
I love the idea of some bloke sitting in Stringfellows, businessman, right, pays £20, there's an arse waving in his face, and he's going, can I not just... They go, don't. So he goes, it's going cold! Look at it, it's going cold! Oh, that is brilliant. It's going cold. That is, I mean, see, Carl in the week was saying that he doesn't like sayings and phrases and metaphor and analogy, and I was going, you know, and he thinks it's sort of like, you know, one step away from poetry, but he comes out with the most evocative phrases. That is a straightforward analogy. Lap dancing is like being given a meal that you can't eat. See, that's great. That's how you saw it, and that's so much better than saying it's mad, you can't touch, or it's a waste, or you see what I mean? We were trying to inflame his enthusiasm in the week, and I said about different phrases, and he goes, well, why not just say the actual words? I was going, well, it's more poetic, and I told him the Isaac Newton one. If I have seen further than any other man, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants. And I said, well, that's because, you know, he's saying, you know, I'm getting lauded for being this great scientist and all these discoveries and being a genius, but I'm saying, you know, if it wasn't for those scholars before me that had come up with what they come up with, you know, I wouldn't have got this far. Carl went, what did you say?
I just said, well, I prefer him to give me a name check. Do you know what I mean, though? If he stood there and he's saying how good everything is, don't just class me, don't sort of put me in with a load of other people. Give me a mention.
If you were one of the other scholars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there were probably people that died sort of years before him. I think he's saying more that he's thanking the body of work these scientists and these great men had handed down, you know, through either books, material, teachings.
He's not giving a big shout out to the collective science posse.
Yeah, yeah. You know, thank you. Actually, I copied Nigel's. He's not saying that. I was like earwigging. I heard what Nigel said about it, about the third law. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I look into sayings and stuff
Go
a lot
on.
more and see if they work. Well, one that happened a couple of weeks ago, right? You were talking about the you can't have your cake and eat it. Is that what you said?
Well, I never understood that, because I thought, well, what's the point of having your cake and not eating it, rather like your lap dancing analogy? But it actually means you can't have eaten your cake and still have it there,
Yes,
obviously.
Exactly.
Well, the time that I saw that saying work, right? I was in Asda with Suzanne,
Yeah,
and you know those big binders you get with nice cakes in them
yeah.
for birthdays and that. You can get one with like David Beckham on the front of it.
Yeah.
You can have one with, you know, Thomas the Tank Engine if you want.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, you can have one of them. And I saw one of those comedy ones where it is like a big pair of breasts,
Yeah.
and that is when, you know, you can have your cake and eat tit.
Play record.
No, but you see
Play
what I'm
record.
saying?
Play record. Play record. I want to talk to you about it. About puns.
They're not something that is weapons
Placebo. This picture with the androgynous vocal talents at the helm there of Brian Moloko on XFM 104.9.
Informed
Yeah.
broadcasting.
Excellent.
Did you see, I don't know if Carl saw it, I know you watched it, Rick, it was extraordinary, it was a Sky One TV show the other night. It was something like, reality TV.
Oh, yeah,
I can't remember what it was called. Yeah,
Excellent.
and it was about basically what the
I
fortunes of
cannot
various...
get enough of it.
The fortunes of various reality TV stars since they've come out of the show. Christine Hamilton coming out of the jungle, and obviously once again always a pleasure to find out what Fats Waller is up to. Rick Waller. I mean,
Oh, he's in
extraordinary.
a band now.
He's got his own band. He was playing in some club in Rochester. There was about
It's
20
sort of
people in
gospel,
the
sort of
audience.
gospel rock, that sort of soul gospel rock thing, like something you see in the Commitments or something. And when it cut to the audience, it was like it was in Butlins. It was just a big dance floor, and there was just people like watching differently. And he went, the people that were here loved it. I mean, it's a bit
And I
sad.
have to say,
I know.
the size of the man, his leather jacket, Carl, was extraordinary. I don't know how many animals had to die to make it. It was like, you know, it was
It looked like,
unbelievable.
if he'd have fallen off, it'd been like the Hindenburg.
Yeah.
Because
It was like a Zeppelin.
oh,
It
the
was-
humanity!
It was
people-
extraordinary. I still think, when I see him wearing a coat like that, it looks like he is stood on the shoulders of two other people. It's
Yeah,
just a joke.
just a
It's
little
just like a
head.
circus act or something.
Yeah.
Because his head doesn't make sense.
Looks like it's one of those things that you steam yourself in. You know, you put your head out that, and is that a machine you're in? No, it's a
Or one
coat.
of those old-fashioned iron lungs.
Oh dear.
But
There were some
he's-
magic moments.
But there was a great, because once again, I mean, I missed a lot of the first series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, but it showed once again the moment with Darren Day. Darren Day, a lovely guy, but that moment where he went off and sat on a rock and came back and he'd written a song.
I know.
Which he just, and I can't, it was also things like, I'm in a hotel room in another town.
I know. Don't.
And it was like something you'd write when you were 14. It was unbelievable. They showed it again. It's just stunning.
I love songs like when you're 14. It's like your first sort of like song where you know 3 chords, and it's always stuff like, there's a man, he's a lonely man. Take a look at him, he looks a bit like me.
Yeah.
It is me. It's that sort of thing. Like we want to play it to someone, and you want them to go, my God, you're deep.
Yeah.
My God, you're brilliant, aren't you? And that's about you, is it? Oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
I have to say, this is such a terrible confession. When I was doing a school play once, when I was about that age, 15, right, there was a girl who was in the cast with me, right, and she sort of, she was giving me the eye. I was thinking, yeah, well, I kind of thought she was, right, and
It was glass.
but there was another guy there as well. I was sort of competing for her affections.
Oh, no.
And he was quite a witty guy.
His name was Scott Hansen. He had long blonde hair.
Exactly, yeah. And I thought, well, the way to impress her, because I was 15 or whatever, I thought I was pretty smart. I sat in one of the adjoining dressing rooms, reading a copy of the philosophical book, Zen in the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which I didn't understand, but which I sat there reading it in the hope that she would walk in and think, my God, you're reading Zen in the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
You don't go with the crowd. You don't want to come next door where we're talking about nonsense and people are flirting.
We're talking about the bangles
yeah.
and curly-whirlies.
You're in here saying, look, just if you want to come and talk to me, you're welcome, but I'm not.
I'm a thinker.
I bet you thought you were Kwai Chang Kane, didn't you?
I thought it was like she'd think, Jesus Christ, I've never met anyone like him.
That is genius.
And I remember the one time she accidentally walked in, she went, oh, sorry, wrong room, and left again. And that was it.
Sorry, at 15, so this is about the time you took to wearing a bow tie to
I'm
impress
slightly
people.
younger wearing a bow tie.
I love that.
No, I used to watch a lot of Harold Lloyd films, and he always seemed to do very
I
well.
love it. I love the idea of at 15 you going, well, it's time I went to wooing. Right. Right, on with the bow tie. Where's the Zen?
Where's the pipe and my bow tie?
It's a time I got me a bow.
Yeah.
I love that. But songs are great as well. And the other thing you do, sort of when you're about 15, 16, is start writing songs about the world's trying to take a piece of me. Hey, you think I'm going down? I'm coming back. I'm against the ropes. They're trying to drag me down. They thought you want to be Cool Hand Luke. Yeah. They put me in this emotional prison.
The man's on my back.
Who? Who? They try and take a piece of me. Who do? Well,
You're 14.
Parents and that, don't they?
You're really
Sometimes.
comprehensive.
The teachers. Yeah. I absolutely love it. I still remember a poem. I'll not say his name. We're about 14, 15. And we had to write a poem, and obviously everyone's was pretty rubbish, but we mercilessly took the piss out of this bloke, because I still remember the poem, and how he did it is he went through a dictionary and found things with that, and this is a poem, right, okay, remember? I've remembered this for just 25 years, right? The reason why I had to die, did I bleed the blood of greed, what was my destiny? And when we heard this, we were laughing. I mean, for a year, we would go, what was my destiny? It was just great.
I hear it again, I enjoyed
The reason why I had to die, did I bleed the blood of greed, what was my destiny?
That's almost as catchy as Monkey News.
Oh, God! Oh, I've got some monkey news for you. Let's play a record and come back, and I've got some great monkey news for you, Carl.
That's from the R.E.M. album that people tend to forget about now because it was so kind of poppy and such a massive hit out of time, but there are some good tunes on it. And there's one of them, Near Wild Heaven.
Excellent, on XFM 104.9. Carl, watching a programme yesterday, and it was about these Japanese snow monkeys. And it was all about how animals learn things that aren't instinctive, particularly sort of primates, because they see other people doing it, and they start a culture. And they can pinpoint when one monkey first went down and got in the hot water springs and stayed there because it was hot, and the others copied them, and now it's part of almost a culture
you know, that won't be handed on because it's not instinctive, but has to be learnt each time. And you know, and they groom as normal like other monkeys, right? But they're really intelligent, and obviously the reason they groom other people, other monkeys, is because they eat the mites. But also the monkeys have learnt they like being groomed. Okay, so they showed this one monkey. It went to a deer. Okay, and it was grooming this deer to get its mite off it, right? But then it didn't eat it. It held it in its hand. It went over to a monkey, put the mite on itself to show the monkey it had a mite, and got a free grooming.
That's extraordinary.
That's extraordinary.
That is
because it gave up the food, knowing that if you put one there, this monkey would look for mites on it, and it would get a free grooming, and it was like having a little massage. What do you think of that?
It's not bad. I've got some better stuff coming up later.
On Monkey News, on the official.
Yeah,
Monkey
do you
News.
see that? See what mine though? Mine's true.
I mean, that's an interesting and
It
extraordinary.
actually happened. It's
discovery.
social behaviour amongst primates. Actually, so I saw it. I saw it. It was, you know.
Did it rob a bank, Rick, at any time?
It didn't rob a bank, and it didn't open a hairdresser's.
So that's what you're letting you. That's what you're letting yourself
It's
down.
not. It's not quite good enough, is it? My Monkey News.
No, I've got some.
See the difference where I named the species, explained it slightly, told you an interesting fact, as opposed to there's this monkey, right? And
Look at him looking
it's
at you.
Yeah,
He's not interested, Rick. Can I tell you now? Can I try and describe for people the face that Carl has? I'll tell you what it's like. It's like if you draw some eyes, a nose, and a mouth on a balloon, and then inflate it to about half full. That's what Carl's face looks like. That's what his head looks like. It looks like a face you've drawn on a balloon. Very small, the rest of the head huge.
It's just that today I'm a bit tired, right? That's one thing.
Why are you a bit tired?
I just haven't been sleeping, right?
Why not?
I don't know. I've got a lot going on in my head.
Oh, this would be like The Simpsons. If we could actually look in there, there would be two monkeys grooming now.
Plus, you've been talking about like stuff that I can't relate to and that. So I'm
What, writing poetry?
Like what?
Reading books?
you know, doing poetry and stuff. I never did any of that.
What did you do?
Well, at school they didn't bother. They tried to get us to write more, right?
Right.
By
Giving you a pen?
well, they used to give us these school diaries,
Yeah.
little red book. It was a way that they kept an eye on what you were doing out of school hours.
Right.
So some kids would write down, you know.
Stole a bike.
Yeah,
Burn the
what have
house down.
Yeah.
But when I was at school, around that sort of 12 age, I didn't get up to much. You have no money, there's nothing you can do. So every night it was the same thing. I'd get home, and I'd have to go to the shop, right, and get some potatoes and some bread every night, right. And I kept taking this into school.
Sorry, what was it? Dublin in the 17th century?
Yeah.
What do you mean every day you went to the shops and got potatoes and bread?
That's kind of what I had to get all the time. That's what we had.
Why? What did you have? Chip sandwiches?
Yeah.
Right, so you went to the you went there
So I kept
with your hoop
putting
and
that.
stick.
yeah.
I kept putting that in a diary, you know, every night saying went to U-Phase. That was the name of the shop.
What is it called?
U-Phase,
What is it, you or you?
like H-U-G-H, phase.
H-U-G-H, yeah. Oh, that was his name?
U-Phase, right?
Right.
Used to go there, get the potatoes and
Bread.
and that.
I love the fact someone who's named a shop after themselves. I'm not going to say what we sell. It's named after me or nothing, or I'm not opening.
Mainly potatoes and bread. White sliced loaves, King Edward's.
And the teacher used to always say, just write something different in there, make something up. Because like, you know, Monday, Tuesday, all the way through to Friday, every night it was just, went to U-Phase.
So you sort of you
Are you sure it wasn't an advert? Sure it wasn't paying you to say, get my name in the book?
yeah.
The only time that it changed and she said, oh, that's made it a bit more interesting, was when it was my birthday and I had to buy a cake.
Potatoes and a cake.
And she said, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That was my 13th birthday. My mum said, I got home from school, she said, oh, you're 13 today. Teenager, big turnover. Go and get a cake.
That's your experience of writing.
No, what?
Well,
No,
kind
that's
of,
your
yeah.
experience of your 13th birthday. Oh, by the way, you're 13 today, go and get a cake.
Yeah.
Brilliant, big surprise? Was it a big surprise? yeah, that is brilliant. I love it.
That's
That-
the only sort of writing.
Well, and they never asked you to write essays or stories.
Did you never write a story or a poem or a...
The stories I did earlier on were, you know, you made them up, but it was that thing that I'd always end them with, and an alarm went off and it was all a dream.
Every single one of them.
Yeah. But they didn't. I mean, it was a bit of a.
I bought some potatoes and some bread. Then I went down, but it was all the truth.
Then I went to shops and bought some potatoes and bread. But did you ever do anything that write about an adventure when you were a spaceman, or you were you were a cowboy, or no?
All the teachers had scams going on. So in English, right? You'd go in there and the teacher would say, right, what we're doing today is got a load of brochures from Thomson, but they say 1983 on the front. So I've got a load of stickers here that say 1984. Let's see how many you can do in half an hour.
You are joking.
Did you go to school with Oliver Twist?
Sorry, you are joking.
I'm not, that's what they did. So the teacher must have been getting a freebie or something for helping them out. Honestly, yeah, that's what it was.
That is fantastic.
They were all at it.
They were all, other than Mr. Fagan, you had...
Yeah, and then when they saw Karate Kid, they had every kid washing their car going, wax on, wax off, hurry up.
Yeah.
I'm teaching you something, wax on, wax off, paint the fence.
So I'm just saying, that's why I'm a bit quiet, because you're talking about stuff I can't
relate to.
And why didn't you sleep last night?
I haven't slept well since I was about 12. Do you sleep well, Steve?
Oh, wait, you can't let that go! I haven't slept well since I was 12. What do you mean?
Do you know, a proper... I used to love going to bed as a kid.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's am I going to sleep tonight? And I sort of wake up about 4 times. Right. Whereas when you're a kid, I remember really loving, going to bed. There was one time where I actually laughed myself to sleep because I couldn't believe me luck.
What's wrong with him? What do you mean you laugh yourself?
Have you ever had it when you're really tired and you get in bed and the pillows feel
it's all cold, yeah.
And it's I can't believe this.
Yeah.
And it happened twice. Once when I just went to bed and I was really looking forward to it, and also when I helped my dad out once, through the night. He worked at at this paper company, right? And I helped him out, and I got in at about 4 in the morning with him. Got in bed, and I just was I was laughing my head off. I had to put the pillow over my head because I couldn't believe me luck. I was oh, this is great. This. I'm going to sleep.
I just have to say, life up north is so extraordinary.
No, but you must be the easiest kid in the world to please. No wonder she knew she could just go get a cake. It's sort of what was he expecting her to say? He were expecting an extra hour in bed, but we got him cake as well.
Go to bed without any supper. Brilliant.
Brilliant, yeah. Your own bed. How long was it before you got your... What did you used to do before? Just some straw in the corner?
No, it's just that thing of when you're really tired and...
And do you ever do this with Suzanne, then? Do you ever laugh yourself to sleep with her?
No, that's what I mean.
She can't sleep because you're chuckling away.
I don't know what's up with me. I've got a lot going on.
What do you mean you've got a lot going on?
I don't know. I was talking to the security bloke before saying, do you sleep? Have you got much going on in your head and stuff? And I don't know.
He wasn't insulted by that, I'm sure. Going up to someone and going, have you got a lot going on in your head? That is brilliant.
It worries me. It's interesting that your lack of sleep coincides with the diaries and the writing of the bread and potato every day. I don't know if once you had that responsibility.
Why don't you every night go to Hugh Faye's, get some bread and potatoes, you don't have to eat them, then go to bed, and I think you'll be chuckling yourself to sleep in no time. I'm stunned at Carl's rudeness, okay? That's badly drawn boy, by the way, all possibilities. There's a lovely chap just calls in, saying about... And Carl, because the record's ending, he doesn't say, oh, I've got to go to the record's end. He went, yeah. And he... So...
He's probably still there.
Well,
cut him off.
Well, just check if he's still there.
He doesn't want to be on radio. He said he didn't want to be on the radio, but I think we should apologise.
I'm still here, hello?
Hello.
Alright.
I'm still here. I did ask nothing but live on radio because I get very embarrassed.
No, don't worry. All we wanted to do is just wanted to apologise for Carl's curtness and his rudeness.
Now, all I want to say is the station is good because you couldn't have a worse slot on a Saturday afternoon, right? Because the youngsters are in the boozers, the older fellas are doing the punting, the racing, the football and whatever. The thing is, the state you play, if you want to get number one...
This is XFM, not Radio 2.
If you want to be the top, all you got to do is start playing Natalia Umbraglia, this and that, and have your audience with one puke of hair between 4 legs, okay?
Thank you.
Now, that's why I didn't want to go live on radio. but you are dead. When Christian got a little bit sick about being 13, then he got to go, whatever. You're the soundest station in the area. You cover. I don't like all the stuff you play, that the station plays, but you're actually doing what's there.
Thank you very much.
You keep going, persevere, and you'll it's well worth listening to anyway, okay?
Thank you, cheers.
Otherwise I wouldn't...
Can you hear us?
Thank you, bye.
Dead sound, mate, be careful, yeah?
I mean, I can see why you cut him off.
No, stop it.
Man
Right.
alive.
We've had so many calls. Carl was getting annoyed, there were so many calls. And we've had suggestions from Ned saying talk about Jimmy Savile, John in North London. I've just got John in North London. What does he want to talk about? Oh, I've forgotten. Becca from Liverpool wants to talk about Tracy Emin and Damien Hirst. Art. Paul Andrews, your mum called. Stop calling her, tell her to listen to XFM. Yes, you, Paul Andrews, is about 38, at home with your wife and kids. Your mum just called in. I think someone wanted amazing monkey facts. I can't even do this right, can I?
To be honest with you, last week we were slagging off Carl as being the weak link in this show. I think it's clear what the weak link is.
Oh God, who's the bloke who wants Hayley to go with him to X-Men? See, I shouldn't make notes.
What's wrong with you? If you didn't spend so much time squeezing his head and eating pies, we might get something done.
Right, okay then, what should we talk about then?
Right, play a record and we'll discuss this.
Tracy Emin. Make
Brilliant,
your
okay.
bed. Make your bed. Damien Hirst. Stop cutting up sharks and things. Picasso. Right.
Right, Rockbusters, what have you got for us, Carl?
There we go then. 3 clues,
Dig
3
us out.
cryptic clues, couple of initials. Email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Win some stuff. Do you want to go through the stuff? You get them.
You're
I'll
definitely
read-
improving yourself as weeks go on. We've got a 3 CD set of the best of Inspiral Carpets. How they've strangled it over 3 CDs, I've no idea.
Yeah, I know.
Extraordinary. A number of other CDs, all of which are okay, plus a T-shirt and a copy of Marion and Jeff Series 1 on DVD. Not bad at all in an XFM bag.
Right, he's noticed X-Men 2 isn't there, because it's not out yet, but it is at the cinema, so I think Hayley should go with, what's his name?
Shut up.
Okay.
Right, go on, Carl.
Right, the clues are, clue 1. They're having problems. They haven't got any-
this is...
Right, brilliant. Rockbusters, this is what we've
I
been in
know.
for.
I tell you what, I think Foxy was really soft on us. I think he's... Oh, go on.
This is what we're tuning in for. Okay, so this
Go
clue
on.
1 again.
So go on.
This is brilliant. Come on. This is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It's class.
Come on, Carl. Don't worry about him. He doesn't understand radio, Carl. I heard his show before we had us. He was doing it. It sounded just like Dr. Fox.
Yeah.
Right,
Go on.
Clue 1. They're having problems. They haven't got any rice.
Say it again and say it like it's written down. Right. Say it like it's like you're reading it as opposed to making it up as you go along. I know you are, but say it again because all the ums and ahs people think are integral.
They're having problems.
Do it again.
They're having problems. They haven't got any rice left.
Different. A cryptic clue every word. That's the matter. I
And
love
what's
that.
what's the initial?
CC.
CC, and the clue again.
They're having a few problems in that. Because they haven't got any rice left.
Different every time. Go on, that's number 1.
Second one, the Geordie fella doesn't know what he's been charged for.
Okay, and what's the initials there?
BW. The Geordie fella doesn't know what he's being charged for.
Right.
And the final one, if he had 2 bricks and he had to throw them at 2 women, right?
Stop! Right, you've got to go through this without going. Right? Oh, yeah, just do it again. Just say it again. Think what you're going to say, then say it.
I had 2 bricks.
Oh, no, it was if I had before.
Well, I've got.
Stop it a minute! Stop! Because I'm going to burst. Right, Carl, work out what you're going to say and say it. Right.
Okay, just calm down.
Okay,
Can we just
calm
everyone
down.
calm down?
Okay, right.
I had 2 bricks to throw at 2 women, and I didn't hit either of them.
Right, okay.
The initials MM. Right, so
Okay.
quickly again. They haven't got any
I've
rice.
got that! I've got that, and it's brilliant! That is a brilliant one!
Okay.
Right? They've run out of rice, they've got problems on their hands. CC. Right? The second one, Geordie fella doesn't know what he's being charged for. Right? BW. And I had 2 bricks to throw at 2 women. Didn't hit any of them. Right? That's MM. Email in. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Brilliant, play a record.
Win some stuff.
It's email me, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Oh.
Okay, so what I mean by that is not necessarily the cancer-causing hydration oil like inside, but it's going to create
White Stripes, Seven Nation Army on XFM 104.9.
Carl, are you thinking of starting a family?
night cycles.
Only if, like, an accident happens or something.
Yeah. Were you there, Rick, when we were chatting about this the other day?
Oh, yeah, no.
What did you say,
Well,
Carl?
we were talking about his career and that, because he's on MTV, and I was going, oh, you got to do this now. He's going, look, if it happens, it happens. I've said to Suzanne, if it happens, it happens. She goes, well, what are your plans? I was the same with Baby. She said, are we going to have kids or not? I go, look, if it happens, it happens. I go, well, how will it happen? He goes, if a condom splits.
Amazing. I love the idea that that's the way you plan for a child. Imagine telling them that. Where was I conceived? Can't remember. The condom split.
Yeah. You're an accident.
I love that. The
Well,
romantic nature of that.
Well,
is
I was
just
told that was an
extraordinary.
accident, but, you know, it doesn't
Well,
matter,
fair
does it?
enough.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but it doesn't
But do
matter.
many people sit down and say, right, do you think we should?
Yes.
Well, they lay down.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
You can't sit down. You haven't got time for that discussion.
No, it doesn't mean the conception. I think it means bringing up a child till it's 18.
But the thing is, as well, it's one of them, innit? It's like, if you think about having one, you go, well, the sort of negatives, you know, outweigh the positives,
Yeah.
I think. Right?
Go on.
But if you have one, you go, oh, it's not that bad, is it?
So what are the positives and what are the negatives?
Like I say, the negatives outweigh it. I can't think of that many positives. They get in the way, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Cost you a lot.
Costs a lot of money. Same with marriage. Like Suzanne saying, we'll get married, so what for?
Well, marriage doesn't cost anything.
Well, it does.
Well, no, if you go to the registry office and then
Yeah,
buy
but
a
then,
house.
but then what's the point?
Well, tax breaks, you know, presents.
I don't think you get them anymore.
Don't you?
I looked into that.
You old romantic. What would you rather have, a ring or a 3% saving?
yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, I don't see the point anyway.
I got down on one knee and presented her with some inland revenue forms.
yeah.
Just to show the benefits.
That is great. I mean, if you are planning it, I think you've got to involve me and Steve in the radio station, because it'll be. I mean, you take quite a lot on, don't you? So if you've got a kid at home and you're not sleepy, you haven't slept since you were 12, you've got this, you've got MTV, you've got a kid. You know, it might be one step too far, because I wouldn't want to push you over the edge.
Well,
Then see, go on. Sorry.
no, I just was going to say, I was talking to Suzanne last night about it and saying, you know, about earning money and that, and she said, well, you're already sort of earn a little bit more than me. So, you know, if you get loads of money, she said, I'd be happy staying at home and doing nothing, maybe looking after a kid. I said, oh, so that's not happening.
Right.
I said, I could have a load of money now tucked away, I could have won some money and I wouldn't tell you. I still want sort of that check offer every month. Because I get a check offer to sort of pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I think you need to keep that in a relationship.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Work as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not working as a team.
Of course it is.
Well, no, you share everything. Sharing everything is working as a team,
Yeah.
whether
Not
you earn
you
most or whether
stashing
she...
some 35 grand back.
It's not like you think that, oh no, if I won the pools but I give her half, she'll get lazy. She'll just sit around the house doing nout. So she's still got to go to work in a job she hates.
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, she thinks that it'd be the worst thing that could happen if we got a load of money. Because she'd want to go to Egypt, I'd say I'm not going.
Why does she want to go to Egypt?
I don't, that's what I said.
No, why would she? Why does she want to go to Egypt? She wins a lot of money.
She said it's meant to be pretty good.
So the incredible wonders of the pyramids and the Sphinx and so on, that's not of any interest to you?
I've seen it though on the telly and that. I don't want to go all that way just to see it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's
To experience other cultures, other lifestyles, travel broadens the mind.
Wow. Don't.
No, not really.
Seen enough different ones here, haven't you?
Yeah.
There's parts of Wiven. Oh, you haven't seen yet.
Yeah. Okay, well, so you don't want to make enough money. You don't want to make a lot of money because you're worried that Suzanne might want to go to Egypt.
And then that'll be...
No,
And that's
I
going to
don't
tear you
want to tell
apart.
her that I'm making a lot of money. I can still tuck it away.
Right.
And what will you do with it? When
But when are you going to spend it? What
when
are
you
spending
turn
it on?
up in a big converted limo, it goes da 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 da. Come on, we're going to bingo. Where'd you get the car from? Never thee mind. Right? What? Won't you be suspicious when you've got a pet chimp? You know what I mean?
What are you? I mean, yeah. What would you spend it on? Is there nothing that you want for?
No, I've never. No, there's now at the moment. Honestly, it's. I'm quite happy. Do you know what I mean? I don't ask for much.
But you're not happy. You're always whinging and moaning.
Always whinging.
Clearly, there's something wrong.
What if someone gave you? What? Okay, right. Let's be serious. We're not talking about billions, right? But if someone gave you a cash injection, just a one-off cash payment of £250,000, okay, what would you do with it? I mean, that's too easy because that should obviously be a house. That should be the best house you can find in London.
I'd probably want to go and see a tornado.
Right. That's on your list. Okay.
So in many ways he's so sweet, but I want to shake him.
Can I just point out to you, Carl, I don't know if you know this, but if you get caught in a tornado, you do not whisk off into the magical land of Oz.
And land somewhere nice.
Yeah, and crush a witch.
Still in your rocking chair.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. It's quite dangerous. But you'd go into a tornado, number one, fair enough. Number two?
What brochure is that in? That one.
It's Texas, isn't it?
Okay.
Oh.
Number two?
Texas.
So he's got tornado number one.
What brochure is that in?
Number
it's
two.
Texas, isn't it? It's Kansas, I think, mainly.
Well, can I noticed someone's emailed here a link for, can you believe you luck, Carl? Monkey. Now, I don't endorse this in any way, but here you are, here's a monkey for sale here.
Oh, that's terrible.
$2,500. It says male, very smart little guy, loves to play and gives kisses, wears diapers and clothes, has been around lots of people and loves them, healthy and loves to eat. Sounds like Ricky.
How much is that?
Well, it wasn't Carl, because it says loves to be around people.
Yeah. There's a gibbon there. A gibbon for...
It's too pricey though, it's like that Donald McIntyre programme he did, that Cheap as Chimps programme.
He didn't do Cheap as Chimps. He didn't do a programme called Cheap as Chimps.
You're saying that, but...
Well, he didn't. There's at no point did Donald McIntyre do a programme called... Play a record a minute. Play a record. Oh. Cracking tune.
Now, if you were down in Texas, chasing your tornado, this would be on your stereo, surely.
Surely, if you're in Alabama, it'd be in...
Well, he doesn't go to Alabama, it's Texas, that's where the tornadoes are. Do you not listen to what he says?
It's Kansas. It's Kansas.
Lynyrd Skynyrd, of course, Sweet Home Alabama. Always worth a play, I think maybe once a month.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Carl, we're talking about having kids and stuff. I've always been quite thankful that Ricky's never wanted to have kids, because, I just think he would set the worst example for a child that he possibly could do. Just in conversation the other day, just happened to mention that he's taken to eating in the bath.
Yeah, well, let me explain something. Right. I've got busy schedules, yeah. I get up, I meet Steve at a certain time, then I go, oh, I've got to go at 3:30 today, Steve, I'm working out at 4, I work out 4 till 5, I have to have something to eat before I go out, and often meet Johnny for a beer at 6 or something, or go somewhere. So, I thought, oh god, if I go around and have a bath straight after, then I have something to eat, I go, well, I've got, sometimes there's chicken legs, right, and they're greasy. So one day I thought, hold on, I'll go to the bath with the chicken legs, I'll eat them in the bath, and it's brilliant. So I'm sitting in the bath, I eat the chicken egg, it's really greasy, right? I just throw it in the bin, go under the water, come up, I'm clean. I've eaten, I'm clean, I get dressed, I go out and meet Johnny. I've lined my stomach, and the good thing about that is that when I come home, after 3 beers, and I've eaten the chicken, I go, there's only bread left, I just wipe it round the bath, I've got a lovely bread and dripping sandwich. That's not true, that bit. But I do eat in the bath. I mean, the second week of doing it, I was just eating in the bath. I think I was in chicken legs again. I'm eating in the bath. Jane walked past, just looked in at me, and she went, Christ, Caligula.
Well,
just me, a fat Roman emperor eating.
Caligula, to be honest, is just too cool and impressive. Not Caligula, Old Man Steptoe. Have you seen the one where he's in the bath eating the pickled onions?
No.
He sat in the bath, he literally sat in the bath, eating some pickled onions, some of them slip under the water, he fishes them out, put them back in the jar.
I'd never do that.
No, you'd eat them. You would never well, you wouldn't let food go by like that.
But it's so...
But it's the fat, it's chicken, it's big greasy slabs of chicken, you're throwing the bones on the floor.
No, I'm putting them
for the wolves to scavenge.
I'm putting them in the... Stop biting your nails, Carl! Not only can you hear it, it's really rude.
I don't know, what... Yeah, you're crazy! criticising him?
Yeah.
Criticising him for biting his nails?
Yeah, you don't know where they've been.
You eat chicken in the bath and then go under the water and come up clean while sat in some water swimming with grease and fat and chicken bones.
Yeah, shut
And
up.
breadcrumbs.
Well, I like to bath. I like to bath like 2 or 3 times a
don't
day.
know, but do you not see why that's not cool and impressive? It's not like we're all going to go, why haven't we all thought of that?
To be honest, though, Steve, that is the only time I eat oranges.
I know what you mean. Yeah, that's, I've always thought that, an orange, I go, oh god, this is too annoying, and I don't bother eating oranges, unless they're tangerines, you can peel them in one and put them in one. I don't have big Jaffas, it's not worth it.
What is wrong with you? Firstly, have you ever thought about cutting an orange into 4 quarters with a knife?
Waste.
What do you mean a waste?
More washing up.
Yeah, right, so this is what you got, this is why you can't sleep at night. Because you're thinking, I've got to run a bath and have an orange. I haven't got time. I'd like an orange now, I need the vitamin C, but I've got to run a bath for it, at least have a shower. I'm going to be in there with another man.
Oh
It's
dear.
like, the two of you are just, you are like children. You're infants. Your mentality is ludicrous. And you're embarrassing us in front of our special guests.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe it. Now, of course, last week we've had
tattoo here.
We've had a number of letters, Rick. I'm just reading them now. Saying,
Okay.
last week, loved your interview with Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Yeah.
Genius. Another one here. Great insight into the man who wrote Yellow and Clocks.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Steve Merchant's interview with Chris Martin was amazing. He showed his own TV show.
Yeah.
Just some of the letters we've received, Rick.
Yeah.
So this week, we're very lucky to have with us Russian pop act Tattoo. Round of applause for them. Lovely to have them here. Tattoo. Now then, of course, there's been much controversy that your kind of lesbian shtick is just something to try and whip up some press attention.
We are proper lesbians. We love fanny more than cock.
Okay, brilliant. And Tattoo, lovely to have you here. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Now then, you've got some live gigs, I understand, planned.
Yeah. Duh.
Okay. I can't help but notice that you sound, dare I say it, Tattoo, you don't sound so much Russian as German.
No, we cannot do the accent properly.
Okay. And Tattoo, it's a joy to have you here. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah.
And finally, your lesbians would, for instance, either myself or Carl be able to convert you from your lesbian ways?
We like the muff so much that the knob is no good for us.
Alright, well, thanks very much, Tattoo.
Yeah, thanks, Tattoo. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Extraordinary.
Next week, share.
Brilliant. So if you've got any guests, special guests you love us to interview, then let us know. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Look at Carl's face.
And we'll try and get there.
Oh dear, play Michael Carl.
Rockbusters answers next.
I was going to say, well, do you want to do that?
No, let's do it next. After the
Just
record.
was going to say something.
What are you going to say?
About gays and that.
What?
In a bit.
What were you going to say?
Oh, we'll look forward to that.
Martina Topley Bird. Need one on XFM 104.9. Right, there goes the girls from Tattoo. See you later. Well
Thanks,
done.
girls.
Cheers.
Probably
Right,
a couple of lesbians
Carl, what were you saying before we cut you off?
Yeah, it's just that, you know, you had the girls in and that, and it reminded me, I was talking to Steve in a week.
Yeah.
I think it's, when people were talking about going to string fellas and that,
Yeah.
I was talking about seeing naked people.
No, yes, I asked him, I said, when he used to watch, say, if he accidentally flipped onto BBC Two and some ballet was on, would his eye ever been drawn to maybe the gentleman's lower regions rather than the ladies'?
The gentleman's package.
Yeah, would your eyes ever be accidentally drawn to that and you couldn't resist it? And you said yes.
Yeah, because, right,
Oh,
I don't
dear.
think I'm,
Oh dear.
Well, go on, I mean, fair enough.
alright.
I'm always looking at the beautiful ladies, but fair enough.
Yeah,
No, go on.
but, right,
Have you ever looked at Wayne Sleep's testicles?
I went out,
Have you ever looked at Wayne Sleep's penis and testicles?
I went out on a night out, right, and it was it got to some point in the night where 2 women and 2 fellas got on the stage,
Right.
started stripping off.
Yes.
Just what, members of the audience?
No, I think they were, like, part of the act, right,
Right.
and,
What was it, panto?
they downed the fellas had, like, their undies on, and the girls just had their knickers on,
Yeah.
right, and,
Sounds pretty erotic at the moment. Go on.
and at the same time, they all whipped their pants off,
Yes.
right?
It was
Now-
Bucks Fizz, wasn't it? The adult show.
Now I said to Steve, at that point,
Sorry, I wasn't there. He said it's to me later.
yeah.
I said, well, you have a quick glance at the fellas. And then the annoying thing was, I thought, right, now I'll have a look at the women, and it was too late. They put the knickers on.
How long were you looking at the fellas?
Not that long, but
But why were you looking at them first?
It's human nature, innit?
Why?
I don't know, but I'm sure you would have done the same thing. You just sort of think, well, how are they shaping up?
So
they weren't
it's a
shaping up at
comparative
all.
test.
So who had the biggest knob? Which one of the blokes had the biggest knob?
No, it's like, normal. But,
This is a whole new side of you.
This is a whole other area.
So you look at ballet dancers, you look at the gentlemen's.
No, I don't. I
package.
just was, when he said this, it reminded me of this night when I was walking home thinking, didn't get a look. Because I was messing
Where
around.
was this? What event was this where people are stripping off?
Carl, I'll tell you what, you are the most interesting man I have ever met.
But are you comfortable being nude and that?
We've done this. Well, I don't know what this is. We did this last week about, are you comfortable being nude?
No,
think
I know, I was talking
you're
about
probably
that.
most comfortable being nude, it's just probably not in public.
Well, Ricky's only really comfortable nude when he's eating.
yeah, there's nothing to get,
Yeah, you can just wipe
spilt on
yourself
it.
down.
Yeah, you just sit in the bath, yeah.
No, but I've talked about that, and then when I went home, I was talking to Suzanne about it, and she said, "What's all that about? You don't like being nude, right?" And I said, well, "It's not."
It's like I'm part of an Alan Bennett play. It's just, I love the way you talk.
Remember once, right? I don't know if I should talk about this really, but
Well, that means you should, so go on.
Go on.
oh yeah, right. We went to Tenerife, right, 1 year, and I was still living in Manchester.
I'm scared now.
Yeah,
that
I know
the way you
what's
said that. I'm
No,
actually scared.
I'm thinking about Suzanne, but she's
Well,
working.
I don't want to know anything about Suzanne,
Come
to be
on, no,
honest.
but
If
guys,
it's-
It
Go on.
involves me more.
Let's
Go
hear
on,
the story.
go
But
on.
I'm just explaining to you that I don't like being nude.
Yeah.
Go on.
So you're in Tenerife.
In Tenerife, right, didn't have much money, stayed in this apartment that wasn't that nice, right, had cockroaches in it and stuff, right, didn't have much money to go out at night, so we're in this sort of death trap of an apartment, right, anyway, so when I was younger, right, had a bit more energy, so
He's 30.
I know.
so, start having it away a bit.
It's a joy.
Beautiful.
It's
So,
good, yeah. It's a wow, I love it, go on.
Right, so, doing what I do, right?
yeah.
Someone starts banging on the door. So Suzanne
Everyone's
says,
at it. Right, so you mean knocking on the door? Right, okay.
knocking on the door, right? So Suzanne said, you better get it. So I said, I can't get it now, can I? I'll have to wait a bit. Right. I can't get to the door.
Go on.
So the banging's getting louder.
Yeah,
Someone at the door.
yeah.
And she's like, oh, no, but it must be important. I'm like, in a minute. So anyway.
I don't want to know anymore.
Stick... All of it.
No, come on, finish the story.
Open the door. It's a fireman. So I just stick my head round, and he's going, you'll have to get out. The building's on fire. Right? So I'm like, in a minute.
Sorry, you weren't still having sex at this point?
No, but,
Right.
still sort of got to wait a minute, or I can't get my pants on.
Oh, Carl, I wish I'm so sorry.
Right, go on.
To this
So
man.
So
the place is burning down.
So it could be a serious big fire going on. I'm sort of waiting. You can hear people sort of screaming and that, panicking.
Is that because the door's open and you're nude?
The fireman's saying, will you get out, will you get out? I'm saying, in a minute.
Right.
And Suzanne was saying, think of something that's not sexy.
Sure.
So I was thinking of people, thinking maybe down in a fire might sort of calm you down.
Yeah.
Then the fireman said, we need a big pole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure, go on.
But what I'm saying is, that, to me, I wouldn't have wanted to go out and be safe over, do you know what I mean? I don't like walking about without on. So what I'm saying is, if that fire...
I love the idea of everyone huddled in there, the fireman, the camera's panned along and it's Carl.
Yeah, a
Just
local news report.
naked. With still
But would
standing
you
proud.
have gone out, we're now on,
But why do I have to go out with now on? I'll just grab a pair of jeans.
Alright, but you just, you know...
What?
There's a fire, Carl!
Yeah, but
See, not everyone looks at men's packets. That's only you, remember. Most of the other firemen wouldn't be going, oh, look at him.
But what I'm interested in is
he's
how
pleased
long...
to see us.
Carl, how long did it take, and did the thought of dying in a fire help?
After a bit, but the fireman sort of had a go at me.
Sure.
What do you mean?
Well, he wasn't happy that I was dawdling.
Well, to be fair...
But what can you do?
Answers on a postcard. To the usual address, XFM, care of Leicester Square.
Well, let's just get these right.
So let's play a record, let's have Rockbusters and Monkey News.
We don't have time for
afterwards.
monkey news.
We'll squeeze them in.
Wow.
Life on Mars by David Bowie on XFM. Right, come on, we're running out of time. Blockbusters. The results in... Sorry. Oh, what a giveaway. Oh no, embarrassing. I've given it away. Straight into monkey news. Go on
So, yeah, Rockbusters, what were the clues?
Right, the clues were, the first one was, they're running out of rice, so they've got problems. That was CC. That was China crisis. Right?
Okay, yeah, if they ran out of rice in China, it would be a crisis, fair enough.
Second one, the Geordie fella doesn't know what he's being charged for. Right? That was Bill Wyman.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And the third one, I had 2 bricks to throw at 2 women, and I didn't hit either of them. That was Mister.
I let him up, those were alright though.
That's extraordinary. The winner, Gina. I think Gina Ferry. Well done, Gina. And the reason I gave it to Gina is because she's included, and this is a wonderful segue, some monkey fact information of her own. She says, apparently, that the group Chumbawamba got their name from one of those monkeys in a room with a typewriter experiments. Someone did it as a joke, and Chumbawamba was a word that was typed out, and that's where the group got their name.
And their lyrics.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is good.
So let's have official monkey news. Play the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news!
Right, we've got to be quick.
Go on.
But, this is something that was sent in to me ages ago, and I don't know why I haven't done it yet, because it's brilliant. We were talking about monkeys typing, the Shakespeare theory and all that. Well, this is about a little monkey called Marty, right? Basically, it's in some science lab, right? It's in there. It was wandering about out of its cage, right? The lab fella was busy on the phone or something, right? And
Typical.
it's wandering about. It goes up to a PC that's in the corner, a little computer, types down, "My name is Marty," right? So the fella got off the phone, saw this on the screen with the monkey sat there, says to his mate, "Have you done this?"
Right, hold on, Carl.
Let him finish.
Oh.
Before you question, always let him finish.
I don't know what to do.
Time's against us, come on.
He said, "Have you done this?" He says, "Done what?" He said, "This on the screen here saying, 'My name's Marty,' right?" He goes, "What are you talking about?" As he's having an argument with his mate saying, "You're lying, you did it," monkey's sat there, typing, "This isn't a practical joke, my name is Marty."
Right, and that's the end of the story?
I'm not coming in next week.
I
think we need a week off. I actually think we need a week off.
It's doing a web chat or something. You can go online and have a chat with it.
The monkey's doing a web chat?
I don't know.
Has he got his own website yet? His favourite Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Have a look at that.
Right. Do you believe that, Carl?
It's all there.
No, but do you believe it? Do you believe that monkey could type that and then say this is not a practical joke when he's still arguing?
Weird, isn't it?
Oh.
What do you reckon, Steve?
Yeah, well, it's obviously a wind-up.
It's a joke. It's not even... You haven't even got some of the facts wrong. It's just a wind-up.
Have you noticed the date?
Is it April the 1st?
It is April the 1st.
You are joking.
That it was sent.
You're an idiot, Carl.
It was sent on April the 1st, Carl.
So you're saying the monkey knows it's April the 1st, but you
And
don't
it's doing
believe...
a wind-up, yes. Yeah, I think the monkey has thought, I'll do it on April the 1st so that people think that it's a wind-up, but in actual fact I am a monkey that can type and read. It's a shame you never went into investigative journalism. You could have brought down, you know,
Oh,
the
poor
Watergate
Carl.
scandal.
Poor Carl.
Well, I was thinking of a song that sums us 3 up. Yeah? What are we? What do you think? How would you sum us up?
Tricky.
Well, young, gifted and black.
True enough.
Apart from a couple of them.
Yeah, well, we're not gifted.
No.
And we're not very young.
No, I'm certainly not.
Should we take a week off?
Yeah.
Should we maybe just knock it on the head altogether?
We'll take a week off and see what happens.
Okay. See you next... No, let's not see you next
See you in a
week.
couple of weeks.
Yeah. Cheers then, Carl.
One 104.9 XFM. You alright? This is Carl, producer of Ricky Gervais and Steve Merchant. They're not about today. Ricky's on holiday. Steve couldn't be bothered. So I'm left here with all the DATs. That's a digital audio tape of all the shows they've done since they've been here over the last I don't know, year and a half or something. So we'll play you some of the best bits. Alright, so here's the first bit.
I just wish we could maybe tape the bits we're not on air, just because that's when Carl comes into his own.
Yeah.
He just said to me, I don't know what I was doing, I was sort of like pottering around, dancing around, doing something annoying probably, and he just looked at me, I looked around, he was looking at me, and I looked back, and he went, have you ever used a Y-front properly?
Genius.
It's a great question, because the answer's definitely no.
Definitely no.
Does anyone use their Y-front properly? And by that, I mean, get your winky out of the little sort of slot provided, as opposed to like put it to one side or pull them down or whatever. Has anyone used a Y-front properly?
I don't think I've ever done it.
I don't think I've ever done it.
I've never seen anyone in a toilet doing it, Rick.
You should be looking.
I wish I hadn't said that.
I caught ya. Really?
Yeah. That's actually how you prove people are gay.
Yeah.
You get them into this conversation.
Yeah. It's a trap.
Yeah, it's a trap.
It was the trap.
Yeah. I'm not gay, by the way.
Yeah.
You didn't prove I was gay. I double bluffed you. Because I knew the old gay trick.
I thought it was the old gay lord say no thing.
That is another method. Yeah, there's innumerable methods of doing it.
That's how Oscar Wilde was caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, the judge went to him. Did you see that film last night? Gay Lord Say No, and he went no, and they went take him away.
Yeah. Take him down to the cells.
Yeah, take him to Reading.
It is true.
Well,
it originated in America.
Yeah.
So many of these things do. It's a brilliant point, Carl. I'd like to hear from anyone listening who's, and I mean, well, they'll just lie, wouldn't they, I suppose?
Yeah. I don't even use sort of flies, usually. I sort of pull my Y-front, my sort of tracksuit. So that's why I wear sort of like elasticated waistbands all the time.
Exactly.
Just sort
Speed.
of Yeah.
You got to get in there with the minimum of effort.
Yeah, and out.
Sure.
Often I won't shake.
No. Oh, no.
To my detriment, because it often leaks out a little bit later, doesn't it?
Ever been out on a date with a girl where it's just trickled down your leg and you wish it hadn't, and you're thinking, what if she gets my trousers off later? She might smell and see it.
What? Like what?
I don't know. I don't know what I said there.
Right.
Rick, I had for Christmas something which I think might excite you and interest you, because I know you're obsessed and interested by facts.
Yeah.
Don't fiddle with the microphone.
Well, I was just looking at what it was underneath it.
So this is a book, it's just facts and trivia. It's edited by Sir Isaac Asimov, who I think's dead. So I don't know when my parents bought this book. I assume it's sort of from a second-hand shop or something.
Right.
It's quite long, but I got it for Christmas, so I keep meaning to bring it in, because there are... Generally, the facts are quite sensible in here, and I like to think if Isaac's been involved, they're probably substantiated. It's not like kind of just this nonsense on the web. I think that this is probably...
Or up in Greg's the Baker's that Carl gets most of his facts from.
The ancient Egyptians trained baboons to wait on tables. Carl, fascinated.
Brilliant.
That's fantastic.
What my point about that is, why did they stop?
Yeah.
It's a genius idea. Would you not want to go to a restaurant where they have baboons serving?
No, I'll tell you what happened. It might have been like the Planet of the Apes, and they sort of rebelled. One of them could talk, one of them could take his order, and one day they went, do you want fries with that? And the bloke got really annoyed and said, answer him back, and then there was some sort of rebellion.
Right.
The Planet of the Apes isn't true, is it? It's not.
It's not a documentary.
Right. Okay.
I wonder, because what I like the idea of having baboons is the fact that I reckon they're like, I have difficulty, and I'm sure you do, Carl, like working out that sort of 10%, you know, on a bill.
Yeah.
I reckon baboons would find that particularly hard. I reckon you could get away with under-tipping them all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just not leaving enough and just legging it.
They
Exactly.
go away and you go, sucker.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I'd love to see
Yeah.
some baboon restaurants. If there's
Yeah.
any restaurateurs out there, so
Could
Terence
I
Conran or someone.
if you do go to a restaurant and you're waiting on us, please don't order the banana daiquiri because it comes half-eaten. They can't help their little selves. They really can't. They're okay with, like, you know, beef and steak and chips and all that. But there's a little bite. I go, do you buy?
Can you imagine that? The baboons serving at waiting tables. It's genius. Just stop to think about that. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely dynamite.
Yeah. That's a
See,
good
zoos
fact.
would be a lot more popular if there was like the canteen. You could go.
If
and
they were
serve.
serving tickets to 2, yeah,
Exactly.
1 child row. Okay, go through there.
But I think they should do other things, like in in the Flintstones, they used to mix cement in that bird's kind of
Pelican, yeah.
We should start doing that again. Because that also happened in ancient times.
Yeah, exactly.
According to the Flintstones.
Yeah, before they had proper cement mixers, that's what they did.
That was how they did it.
Definitely, yeah.
Just animal facts. I remembered one in the week.
Go on.
It was, do you know them 2 gay American men who have tigers?
Okay, the 2 gay ones, yeah, go on.
2 possibly gay
Tigers.
guys.
Yeah, let's not worry about libel law anymore then. Yeah,
If you
go on.
shave a tiger's head,
Whoa. Right, okay. You've got to treat that sentence with a lot more reverence than you did. Think what you're saying. If you shave a tiger's head...
not just its head, its whole body. If
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
So I thought you were getting weird. Go on, then. Yeah, if you shave a tiger, yeah, go on.
it's still stripy underneath. The
Yeah.
skin's
Is it like rock?
It goes all
Is
the
it like
way
all the way
through.
through?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Where did you hear that one?
I remembered that. Like, I was
Was that
watching.
a drunk just shouting it in the street?
I shaved a tiger and it's still stripy. Get out of here. Yeah. Well, you know a polar bear? Polar bear's skin is actually black, and its fur is transparent, not white, and it gives the illusion. So it gets all the radiation possible from the sun, but it's still camouflaged.
I didn't understand that, Rick. Sorry, you lost me. If its skin's black,
A polar
and
bear's
its
skin is
and
black.
its fur is translucent,
And it's translucent.
so why is it white when we see
Well, it's just because the light hits it, and
the sun reflects on it?
yeah, and it makes it look white. Yeah. So if you look at each individual hair, it's actually translucent.
So at
It's
night
hair.
it would be black.
Everything is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, not bright stuff, Rick. You've embarrassed yourself. Play a record.
XFM 9, lovely that one. Now, again, I broke the rules in the week. I met up with Carl, and I had lunch with him, and we were chatting, and having a cup of tea, and it got onto one of Carl's favourite programmes, was the Tales of the Unexpected.
Ah, of course.
And all I can think is that he's probably the only person in Britain where they were unexpected. I mean, to him, when that twist came in, he'd go, gee, I can't...
Yeah.
Oh God!
Can't believe
So it was the tree that did it. I mean, he was probably the only. And we were telling all these stories of horror, and he liked horror stories. And I told him this story, and I don't know if this had come across the radio, but I told him this story. It was a short. It was a horror short.
This was a film you saw, was it?
Yeah. And what it was, it started off just had been a car crash. You see, it's a horrendous wreck, and you saw it from the point of view of the person in the car, and he was calling for his mate, and he was going, Dave. And he sort of looked over and saw a body without a head that had been thrown at. He goes, oh no, Dave. And then into the field of view came Dave, his mate, and looked at him with a look of horror, and then it sort of went black, and you realised that he was just a head, and it had been his body.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, then it came up at the end, at the executions in the French Revolution, people experience consciousness for, and he went, oh, no, he said, it wouldn't be for that long. And then he went, if it was a chicken, it would work. Imagine remaking that film, but it's 2 chickens in horrendous car crash.
Their own fault for driving.
It would work. No, he wasn't having that.
Yeah.
No, it was too long. I think he said, how long was this film? I went, oh no, 5 minutes. He went, no. It would work if it was a chicken.
I like the way that Carl and something like when you relate an incident like that, he's appalled and offended and annoyed by the people that made it, even though he's never seen it.
Oh, he's annoyed, yeah.
Do you have a favourite Tales of the Unexpected, one that you remember particularly that shook you up?
yeah, we were talking about the one on where there's some woman in prison. Have you seen that one?
I can't remember them all.
Right. This woman's in prison.
Yeah.
And she gets a bit friendly with the guy who takes the dead bodies out.
Right.
And he said, I can get you out of here. He said, what you've got to do, right? You've got to, I don't know, at midnight.
When you hear the bell toll, that means there's been a dead body.
Yeah, there's been a dead body. So what you've got to do is go into like the place where all the dead bodies are, get in the first coffin on the right, and then I'll come along and carry you out, and you can run away and escape.
Yeah.
Right? So she goes, yeah, all right then. So she hears the bell go.
I'll bury you, right? And then I'll come back later and dig you up.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's the
that
point.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. Trust me, Carl. It really matters.
Listen, I don't know if I'm going to ruin this for people at home.
Yeah.
Can I just skip to the end? I would imagine that she gets buried and he doesn't come back, and she has to get buried alive.
Better than that. So she gets in the coffin, and she's lying there for ages.
She's buried.
She can feel a bit of movement going on, so she's obviously, being carried somewhere, so she's thinking, this is it, I'm getting out. And, she's lying there for ages and thinking, why isn't someone coming and lifting the lid off this? Do you know what I mean? Letting me get out. So she's really bored. She gets a lighter out, right? Lights it to have a look at who she's lying on. It's only the fella who said he'd help escape.
Oh.
How bad is that?
That is... How bad is that?
So it is quite important that she's buried alive then, isn't it? In retrospect, you realise that the jeopardy is that she is buried alive and can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it so much worse, doesn't it, than just like lying in the morgue and going, actually, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work.
Look at Carl's face. Having told that, he's so pleased. His face is lit up. He's beaming like a child.
Have you seen any?
Is that your favourite horror thing ever?
What was that one you told me about with the porn? That was a good one.
Oh, this was fantastic, right? Right. There was this.
Sorry, can I just check now? We're just remembering classic episodes of the Tales.
No, this is important. Well, I saw one right. I saw one on Tales Unexpected, right? And it was these two gents. What they used to do, they look down the obituaries and they'd blackmail the wife or the son of a dead eminent person, like might be a priest or a doctor, or something, and they'd go and they'd say, he bought some erotic stuff from us before he died, and he owes 100 guineas and all this sort of stuff, and they'd pay up because it'd be so embarrassing. They just didn't want to say, just pay him, right? And this one bloke said, who are these people? I'll meet with them. And he goes round there, and he goes round, and they go, your father. He goes, my father could not have bought any erotic material from you. And they did it. He goes, he couldn't have. He's blind. Right? And that was the twist. And Carl went, so it was magazines, not videos then.
Yeah. Well, think about it, Steve. Is that so stupid?
Well, presumably it was set in olden times because people, professional pornographers don't tend to call it, erotic material.
Yeah.
They tend to call it, juicy jugs or whatever. But more than that, I don't understand how a video is going to be any use to a blind person either. I know that you can hear the sound, Carl. Look at him nodding like you caught me out.
Yeah, what sound were you hear? Your meter needs looking at? Yes. Cut. What's then? What's that? Then it's just noises, isn't it?
Occasional groans.
Yeah.
Right.
You could listen through the wall at your neighbours.
He does.
I mean, that's why I save a lot of money. But I thought you were going to point out, Carl, that they could have had a Braille porno. Now, have you thought of that?
Look, feel the lumps on that.
Exactly. Think about it, Carl.
Think about it.
You're excited now.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend's away, Carl.
Yeah, the cheese grate is only under the cupboard.
No, she's a good-looking lady.
Have you ever been hated to make you cry? But tonight, I'm cleaning up my closet.
104.9 XFM, hello. I'm Carl. Ricky Gervais and Steve aren't here. So we're playing through some of the best bits. I say the best bits. It's the bits that came across first. I mean, I'm not wasting my time. I'm a busy man. You know what I mean? So here's another bit.
What do you make of the first genetically modified baby?
Oh.
Are you worried about this?
Do you know what did they do? What?
Let me see what it says here.
Well, isn't it just choosing the eye colour?
Well, this is the concern, isn't it? That in the future you'll be able to decide whether it's a boy or a girl, how intelligent it is, what it looks like, is it handsome, is it ugly? Obviously, no one will choose an ugly baby, and so on and so on and so on. And so it means that where will it lead? Where will it end, Carl? Are you concerned?
I've thought about this a lot.
What will us three look like in the future if they're
listen.
being, genetically modified beautiful people? What will we be like? How will we be considered in
That's
society?
true, yeah. But we've talked about this before, haven't we? About the cloning thing.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matters, because at the end of the day, right, you might look like some other kid, but it's the way you're brought up that will change your features and the way you are, your personality.
If you lie, you get a long nose, don't you?
Well, no, but listen, right, because I remember when we, I was growing up on this estate.
This is going to be good. Go on.
No, it's not. It's just an example of how this doesn't work.
Go on.
So we don't need to worry, sort of thing.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
So growing up on this estate, and there was this woman about 4 houses down, right? Who's a bit rough. All right.
Didn't fancy her.
Oh God, no. Right, but she had a
Why?
baby.
Well, tell me about her first. I'm interested in this woman. Why was she?
It was a very.
So like a man in a
I
dress.
mean, I didn't grow up in a posh house or anything. And
Sure.
I'm not saying that if you live in a bit of a rough house, you're a bad person.
What does she look like?
But anyone can
Tattoos?
clean up.
Look
And
like Tony Green with a fag on.
they didn't clean up much, right?
Oh.
Which, even if you've not got a lot of money, you can still try and make
Get
a
some
place look
jiff.
nice.
Yeah.
Right? But she didn't, and a kid used to take a horse into the house.
Sorry. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, Neddy. What do you mean a kid used to take a horse into the house? Where did he
believe
get
it,
a
right?
horse?
Must have nicked it from somewhere. Must have done.
You seen horse in it? No.
What, is that from outside the saloon round the corner?
Yeah, was it just tied up with a bit of leather?
Right? And,
Oh, that's great.
I've
Did
been
Big
out.
Jake come looking for it?
I'd been out.
Sorry, let me get this. This was before the lynching stopped or after.
Where did he get a horse from? What do you mean he must have nicked it? His mum said, where'd you get that from? I bought it. All right then, but keep it out of the kitchen.
I don't want you going Catlin rustling.
Where did he get a horse from, Carl? And how long did he have it for? Was he leading it or riding it? Mum, open the door, I can't stop!
I can't stop it. Open the patio door as well.
Looks like we got us a runaway. What do you mean?
I don't know, but the thing is, they couldn't afford to buy one because they're not cheap. So I'm just guessing. Maybe that's wrong of me. But I think...
He had a horse?
Yeah, right. So
That's why the family didn't have any money. They'd spend it on the horse.
No, I don't think, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they would have bought it. So anyway...
Yeah, it's always to whisper, Carl, in case they're listening.
Yeah, and
They could be in the room next door.
It's not buying it, it's keeping it as well. Oh,
So I was like in the car with my dad coming into the avenue, and you used to have to drive down it to turn round. And, and sort of go back to our house.
You had the traditional method of transport. Yeah.
And the horse was in the lounge.
Reading a paper.
Just like walking around.
Oh God!
And when I was doing it, I tried to earn myself some money once by flogging little flowers in plastic cups.
What? This is
And I went-
genius. It just keeps coming. What do you mean you're trying to flog little flowers? What do you mean?
Wait. Let's play a record. Let's play a record and come back to this.
Wait a
Because
minute,
the story's
wait a
going to
minute.
just unravel and unravel. It's going to go for hours. Let's
It
play a
gets
track,
deeper
Carl.
and deeper. It's
Yeah,
like
come
an
on, Carl.
onion, isn't it?
We've created a whole world here where there's a man living with a horse.
Just walking around the lounge.
I come from the West Country. I've never heard anything like that.
I just think of a big sort of like orange carpet and it's got a rediffusion telly and this horse going, I'm fed up in here.
Exactly.
This is really...
I am not taking the rubbish out again.
Yeah.
Right, play a record. Let's have Velvet Underground. We've got that lined up.
Oh,
yeah, the
God.
classic from the first album. I'm waiting for the man. Let's come back to the horse in a second.
Little flowers in pots. What do you mean?
From that classic first album, Velvet Underground and Nico, which apparently peaked at a disappointing 171 in the US charts.
Think of that.
And that's obviously Lou Reed, the Velvet Underground, and Waiting for the Man.
Yeah, great track. So we were talking, we were doing White Van Man, and we got onto...
We got on to genetically modified babies, but
and then
somehow...
Carl started telling a story about someone with a horse, and then he got onto... He was trying to make money selling flowers. Just do the flowers briefly.
Well, hang on, I just want to recap slightly. So there was a family, and who had the horse in the family?
It was...
Because you lived on an estate in Manchester.
So the mother was a right pig, apparently. I don't know if that's
You don't
relevant.
need to go that far.
But
what I'm trying to do is like make a picture for you so you understand.
What does she look like?
it
Who
is.
did she look like?
Bit of a... And no disrespect to her. Bit like Pauline Quirk.
Quirky, yeah.
Alright?
Okay, I knew you were going to say that. I knew it was going to be Pauline. Did she have any tats? Did she have any
I've
tattoos?
never got that close to her.
Okay, all right.
So who had the horse? Was this her son or her
No,
husband?
her daughter.
Her daughter had stolen a horse.
Yeah, from I don't know where. There was I think it was some stables down the road or something.
And they kept the horse in the house with them.
They kept it in the house.
Did
But
they
they
get
didn't have it
caught?
for long.
No.
So, and you said you were in the house one day and you saw the horse
No,
in
what
there.
happened was I was. They did this thing at school about raising money for charity, right? For some local charity, and they said you can do anything to raise money, and they came out with all these ideas, and I thought that's good.
What was the charity?
Well, I don't know. I thought forget the charity.
Yeah, that's
I'm
just a good way of making over.
So
You're a charity.
So, so I asked my mum for some, because she used to have a lot of flowers around the house.
Sure.
I said, can I just take some snippings off them? And I'll go and buy some plastic cups. And got some soil out of the garden, planted the bits of plants in them.
Yeah.
Got a tray,
Yeah.
had about 25 plants on it, selling them for 25 pence each.
Excellent. Did you sell any?
Yeah, so loads.
So did you just cut? You didn't just cut them and stick them in the
Yeah, they
soil.
want to survive. But I think people sort of thought, well, good on him for trying. But anyway, so I went round to theirs, because I thought their house could do with a bit of colour and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a bit rough. So as I went
The horse went, thank God for that breakfast. They've been feeding me kitty cat.
So I got up to the door, and they opened the door, and it was one of them houses where no carpet.
Yeah. A horse in the living room.
You know.
We've all been there.
And the horse was walking around the living room. I looked quite happy and everything, because I always say that about animals.
Black Beauty was on. Yeah.
Well, think about it, right? If you were a horse, where would you rather be? In a little wooden hut with a load of hay, or in like a house with a
Central heating.
3-piece suite and a telly and that?
Telling you that.
No, but I was saying this the other day,
And an Atari.
right? I was walking through London. the
Commodore
other day.
64, rubbish.
Exactly.
Walking through London with Suzanne, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like homeless people always have dogs. And
Yeah.
she said, "Oh, I hope she looks after it." I said, "They've got that dog is happier than most dogs,
Right.
because people always walk past and give it a pat on the head.
Yeah.
It's with its owner all the time.
Yeah.
It's out in the open. It's not locked up in a house.
Yeah.
It doesn't
You know what I
eat,
mean?
but other than that.
No, it does eat though. They're always all right. So that's what I was saying. I think this horse was doing all right for itself. Do you know what I mean?
Well, not many horses have got their own house.
Exactly.
For a start,
But
yeah.
anyway, that's
by the by.
Yeah. So anyway, this family, it was a bit what we were talking about. It was about
Genetically
cloning.
modified kids
Yeah.
and all that stuff, yeah.
Right now, what I'm saying is, you could say, you know, right, Steve, you could have a baby, right? And Ricky could see it and say, God, I want one that looks like that,
Yeah.
right?
It could happen, Rick.
So
Come on, work with him.
So you take it to the doctors, and I don't know what they do. They inject it with something or whatever.
Yep, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
And get a little baby, and there it is. It looks the same. Now the thing is, you separate. You both go off and do your own things.
Yep.
Right. Now, you look at Stephen. This is you look after your baby.
Yeah.
You treat it well. You give it good food and
I'm a
that,
good dad.
all the vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
Ricky just gives it cheese. Right. So then it changes its looks. It goes a bit fat. You know, it gets tired easily and that sort of thing. Now, when this family,
Why am I just feeding a baby cheese?
right, this family who had a horse in their house.
Yeah.
They had a little baby, and my mum went round and said, "You're not going to believe this, but it's a beautiful looking baby," right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know. And the weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, they didn't really look after it. And I'm not saying like abusing it, but it used to run around. It used to play out till like 10 at night.
Yeah.
It used to chase cars.
Right.
It was a bit.
Did it have hooves?
Yeah, no. Chase cars!
Right.
What sort of kid chases cars? Oh, God. Was it called Rover? Did it cut sticks?
It's Liam, it was called, right?
Right.
Now, the weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, and all that, like, not eating properly, and its hair was all patchy.
It's not Liam Gallagher, is it?
And chasing cars and that, and it became an ugly kid.
It's definitely Liam Gallagher.
And that's what I'm saying, right? You can clone all you like, but at the end of the day, it's how you brought up.
Brilliant. Wow. Live.
Wow.
That was a hell of a point. Oh, God.
But am I right?
Oh, you're always right, Carl.
Alright, this is Carl, the producer of Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant on XFM 104.9. We're playing out some of the best bits, hope you're enjoying it. Here's another one.
And now it's Carl's bit. It's the re-education of Carl. He's like Liza Doolittle. And now he's coming to, or Lawnmower Man, if you've seen that film. More like Lawnmower Man, if you've seen the film. You know what I mean. And his homework was to just study quotes really on happiness and stuff and general well-being. He's not a big happiness quote fan, are you, Carl?
Not really.
So what have you done? You've come up with something, haven't you?
Right, yeah, I told you, right? Because a lot of these are just things you say every day. They're nothing special. So what I'm doing...
Well, you say them every day.
Well, the sort of things you come out with and you don't even think about it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're on the TV all the time, people on the radio are saying these sort of little quotes.
Sure.
And what I've done is, remember that programme on Channel 4, Faking It?
Yeah.
Where they got some, like, posh kid to be on a door and all that. What I've done, I've...
Imagine if that was the pitch for the show. Dear Channel 4, you're just going to get a posh kid on a door or something?
Yeah, come in.
Yeah, TV producer.
Yeah, go on.
So, what I've done, this little book of quotes, happiness quotes, I've picked 2 that are real.
Okay.
And I've made one up. Alright?
And we've got to guess.
And you've got to guess.
Okay, then, go on.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick, why don't we, when we've heard them, we won't confer.
No.
You write down yours, A, B or C, and I'll write down mine and we'll see how it
Okay,
goes.
Carl, off you go.
Right, and just because I'm looking at this book, it doesn't mean I'm actually reading.
No, I know.
Don't worry, we're clever.
No, we know, we can't see yet.
Like, call my bluff.
Yeah, go on then.
Nothing is worth more than this day.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah?
Alright.
Yeah.
The way I see it...
Oh God, my head's gonna burst.
No, hang on.
My head's gonna burst.
No,
Hang
no,
on.
this might not be Carl's.
It might not be.
How do you know I haven't tweaked them a little bit?
Yeah, good
Okay,
point.
fair
Good
enough.
point. No, good point.
The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright?
Alright, yeah.
Okay, hang on. It's not here.
Come on.
Cat food.
Cat food, come on.
It stinks a bit. But if you don't put up with the smell, the little kitten will die.
Steve, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Imagine him faking it. Imagine their faces when he says that, and they're going, "Oh my God." Oh. Carl, play a song, mate.
We'll have to confer on this one.
Go on in.
Right. First one. Nothing is worth more than this day.
Excellent. Next one.
What does that mean?
Well, cherish now, cherish your time.
Okay.
Because you can't get it back, and you know.
That's the way I saw it.
Carpe diem, whatever it is, seize the day and all that.
Okay. If you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, rough with the smooth. You know, it's not all plain sailing, but you know, rainbow's beautiful, but it comes because of the rain, which you might not like. So
Yeah.
make the most of everything, and
Yeah.
good.
Cat food doesn't smell good, but if you don't put up with it, then the little kitten will die.
Right, no, Carl, that is a good effort. Now that one's yours. I mean, obviously, right? Right, no, but it's a good effort, right?
I mean, it slipped seamlessly into the others.
Yeah.
Don't think it didn't.
No, but it's good. I mean, we knew it was that one. But what I will say is, it's good. But what you don't know, maybe subconsciously, is, I mean, it's very similar to the putting up with the rain and the rainbow. But that's good.
Why do you think that?
Well,
what does mine mean?
Well, even though it smells bad, it's good for something.
Right.
So
See, I didn't look at it like that.
What did you look at that?
I kind of thought.
Was yours more specifically about cat food, generally? Because you know, normally it's an analogy.
Yeah, or a metaphor for something, you know.
Well, no, the way
I mean, Dolly Parton, who I think did the rainbow rain thing, she wasn't specifically concerned about weather conditions.
No.
It was a sort of general idea.
It's all about life.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've done.
Go on.
I've used an everyday thing.
Yeah.
And put it with today's problems, right?
Go on.
So, like, my girlfriend, yeah, she might like to go shopping for clothes. I hate it.
Right.
But because I love her, I put up with it.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, you love that little kitten. You can't stand the smell of the stuff you got to feed it. But because you love it, you go, well, you know, I'll put up with this just for a few minutes, and then I can, like, squeeze its head later and give it a little...
Sorry!
Squeeze its little head.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just the thing that I do with cats.
Put it in a bag and drown it in a lake.
I can feed it and then I can throw it against the wall.
So you didn't see it like that, did you?
No, that's very good. So it's about love, is it? It's about putting up with the bad things for something you love.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
But
that's very
Carl,
good.
you seem now to be convinced and rather smug that you've tricked us and that you've fooled us and that we didn't understand it. Well, I say that's your fault, not ours.
No, it's not though. I mean, look, that man in Forrest Gump, he was a bit of a nutter. And he came up with the life as a box of chocolates thing.
Yeah.
Now, if that was in this book, you say, oh yeah, brilliant, you know, good bit of work. But if he was sat here doing the show with you, you'd be taking the mickey out of him.
Sometimes I feel he is.
No, but Carl, I could. In fact, if people are out there, we're too lazy. Could you write down everything Carl's ever said? Because I think we could publish that.
Yeah.
He said one today. He saw my salamander. It's not a euphemism. He saw my salamander, and it's just sitting there in the tank.
Your exotic pet.
Yeah, and he's worried about there not being a lid on. And he said, I went, what are we worried about? He said, well, he said it sits there for 24 hours a day, obviously planning to get out.
Well, it's got nothing else on its mind, and it's the daft thing is, he has actually got the lid ripped up a little bit. And I'll be looking up there.
Yeah.
It's going to get out.
But what's the worst that could happen?
What's
Carl?
it thinking? What do you think it's thinking, this salamander?
It's got its eye on the DVD player. I could have Ian be down the market.
Class. What would the
I love the fact you had at least 3 minutes to get that right.
I know.
Prepare and get that right.
I know, but my mouth was full of Maryland cookies. Yeah. You know, last week, this would blow